Perfect timing, Kitty. All right. We are live today with Abigail Braman, and she is a new contemporary artist who is very inspired by mythology, right? The
Hmm.
macabre and kind of retro 1950s, 1960s culture and film and everything. Welcome, Abigail.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yay! I'm excited too, because I mean, we kind of correspond and we follow each other and all the things.
Yes,
But to be able to see someone and talk to them is actually kind of a rare thing.
it is. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that too.
I feel like that personal connection yeah. Often I don't get to do personally because
Yes,
everyone and everything is so far away, but and it's really cool. We
yeah, I
get
agree.
to kind of talk. So I'm told that you are alive. Are you alive?
Yes,
Okay, awesome. So you qualify.
yes, yes, indeed. I'm always like, I hope so. Unless we're
Yeah,
living
it's
in
like
like an
I think
alternate
so. I think
reality.
I
Like,
am. Yeah. Um, yeah, as I was looking through your website and everything, I was reminded that you created these artworks a few years back, was it? In that you put in retro TVs?
yes.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Thank you.
And yeah, I just kind of I was like, "Yeah, I can't like I need to ask her about this."
Oh,
But
absolutely. I love talking
yeah,
about that stuff.
yeah. What
Yeah.
inspired you to do that?
So when I was in college, I had uh I was a fine art major with a concentration in art history. Art history is just one of my favorite things to study and read about.
Mhm.
And there's an artist that I learned about in one of my classes. His name is Edward Kienholz. He was very prominent in like installation and found art. At that time in the 50s and 60s on the West Coast, that was called the funk art movement. So
Mhm.
he played like a major role in that, and his pieces are so interesting. They're very dark and they're very it's just very like interactive and descriptive for what's going on, like what was going on in the time. Like he tackled a lot of really important subjects that went on during that time, like abortion access, like racism, and just learning about that, I was like, man, this stuff is so cool, and I would love to, incorporate stuff like that. And that's kind of what inspired me to do the TVs. And I would like to do more of them. They're very time consuming, and
I bet.
just like being able to store all of this stuff is very hard. Because like I my workspace is in my apartment, so I don't have a lot of room. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's really fun, and there's a whole series that I would like to do at some point. I just need to get like an actual big like a workshop. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
I
that
bet.
comes from.
Yeah, it sounds very involved. We had so my husband and I had a vintage toy store
Oh, I
for
love
a
that.
while. And it was super fun. And we had this old TV in there. It was like this orange TV, and we would play old toy commercials on it.
Oh, I love that. That's good.
Yeah, it was fun. We had hours and hours and hours of old toy commercials.
That's so
Um,
cool.
and then I was looking on Marketplace, looking around because the kids were feeling sentimental about it. It was
Yeah.
from when they were quite little. Now they're older, and they're like, "Oh, I wish we didn't get rid of that TV." Well, I went around looking at, and they are not cheap at
I
all.
I know. It's
Yeah.
bad, and honestly, like I get like vintage stuff, people want it and it's expensive, but some of the prices that people are putting it at, like I've seen some big ones for like $500, and
Yeah,
this is a literal piece of garbage. Like,
garbage.
yeah,
I know.
like, and
Yeah.
half
And
of
we've
them,
come out of that. We've come out of that where it's like it was garbage that you would see
yeah,
on the side of the road, and
yeah,
now it's like worth something.
I know. And it's like even at the time they weren't that expensive. But a
No.
good place to look is like go to your local recycling center where they recycle
Okay.
electronics. I've actually gotten some really cool TVs for free that are just like
Yeah,
full blown old vintage TVs that people just can't get rid of.
that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah.
And in the description, it was saying that a lot of these TVs that you use still will play sounds in the
Yes.
background. Yeah.
So some of them do, some of them don't. It depends on the piece. Like a lot of the ones that I'll do for if they're like movie themed, I try to will take clips like from that movie, and then I have a guy that I pay and he wires
Okay.
it up for me, and then you have to buy these like little sound chips, and then
Oh.
yeah, like that's a whole process too. Like during COVID, that was tough because um I couldn't get those little chips anymore. Like whatever
Oh,
company
yeah.
was making them, it just like they stopped. And so then I couldn't do that for a little while. And then now I finally found a new company. But and then you
Okay.
can turn them on and then they will play the audio from that. So that's pretty fun too.
That is very cool. I like that element where it's something you're not just seeing it, but you're
Yeah.
getting that feeling
Yeah.
of almost.
Interactive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. I know before we came on, you were saying something about installation art as
Yeah.
well. And I could, yeah, you can really see that in those little pieces.
Yeah. And I
Um,
would like to expand that. Like there's a series that like I said, if I had more space, it would be easier to do. But like I want to do big pieces with more stuff than just TVs, like car parts and um,
mm,
but I need like a spot where I can weld things and so hopefully
absolutely.
someday. Um
Yeah.
but that's something I would, my goal for that someday would be to have a solo show of just all of that stuff would be really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be very cool.
Yeah.
I'd be so interested to see what you're talking about because yeah, car parts would be wild, but I'm not sure. I would love to see what it is you're thinking about because
I know
that
I
would
need
be
to post
wild.
more. Yeah, like I feel
Mhm.
like and I know we've talked about this before where I feel like I have too many styles,
Mm.
sometimes. But
Mhm.
it's like I want to work on all of these things, and
Mhm.
if that hurts my image of like not being recognizable all the time, I don't know, but I want to be able to work on different stuff. But I have like a whole sketchbook of what I want to do for this stuff. I just don't post a lot. Like I need to get better at being on social media. I'm just like in my brain, I still feel like it's 2012, and
Yeah.
I just don't use social media that much. But I got to get with
Yeah.
the times, I guess.
I don't know. It's hard to do all the things, and
It
I feel
is.
like the life is so finite, right? And to always be thinking about, oh, how do I do this and how do I market that?
It's tough.
And you're just a one woman show, it
Yeah.
has to be something you enjoy and get
Oh
something out
yeah.
of.
Yep.
And yeah, that's
We
a
all have to be good at that stuff now. Like back in the
mm,
day, it was like, well, an artist gets a solo show, and then it's like, I'll see you in 5 months when I'm done with the paintings. There's your show, and then that was it. And now you have to be a videographer. You have to know how to market the
mhm.
right way. You have to do all of these things that I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like it's not my
No.
forte. I just want to paint, and that's it.
Right? I know. It's like that whole can you imagine asking an artist, even from 30 or 40 years ago,
Oh yeah.
even like a musical artist, can you imagine asking Sinead O'Connor
Yeah.
or, like any of these famous people to 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 make content,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
like, no, I don't want to. Like
Could you imagine like getting Nirvana to do like a
he wouldn't do it. I don't
he
think.
wouldn't do
Like,
it. He
no.
wouldn't do it. He would yeah, and like that's kind of the point. It's like this isn't for everybody, you
Yeah.
know?
It's yeah,
And
and I was talking about this with my best friend yesterday because she does her and her husband run like a really successful uh bird dog like national championship training business, and
okay.
and like we were both just like we just don't want to do social media, and
Mhm.
it's always people that are going like influencers are the ones that it's like they post that they're doing all this stuff, but they're actually not even in the business. They're just like, it's all just like a dog and pony show. And I'm just not,
Mhm.
not
Yeah,
into it.
completely. I know
Yeah.
some of the worst ones because I have little kids. The worst ones are those like toy opening
Oh yeah.
accounts,
Like,
and
oh,
they have mental numbers. Um, my kid went through a phase where she was addicted to these toy opening videos, but also opening the toys, and you could see it was like a high, and she'd
yeah,
open it, and then she'd be like, "Okay, where's the next one?"
yeah,
And we're watching this, my husband and I were like, I don't think this is healthy.
yeah.
Like,
I don't think it is
it
either.
no, it's like it's so innocent in a way because they're making kids content,
Yeah,
and, "Oh, isn't this cute?" And, oh, it's like you get to see the toy, but you don't have to buy the toy, but
yeah,
that's not how it wired her little tiny brain.
yeah.
And, during COVID, like, there were so many kids that that was how they connected with the world was through YouTube,
Right.
and their brain like, after that, I went and worked at a school for a bit, and these kids were not okay.
Oh, I can't. I can't even. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I had a hard enough time growing up in the '90s, and I loved the '90s, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't even imagine what it would be like with YouTube and social media on top of that for like little tiny kids
Right?
that have to deal with this. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
So
It was
COVID definitely
crazy.
didn't help.
COVID, yeah, like, one of our kids had a speech issue, and then everyone had their mouths covered,
Right.
and
That's
it just,
tough.
like, made that whole speech thing so much more
Oh
delayed.
God.
Um, yeah, I mean, I could go on about how COVID has just changed this coming up generation and
Yep. And even just
made
going to
life really hard
school
for them.
and yeah, like in college is all different now. And now we have AI on top of it making things worse
Mhm,
with that. Like, oh God. I can't
absolutely.
I can't even imagine.
I think it's very unfortunately very discouraging for young people to see, well, AI is taking all these jobs. I was watching another video last night, just a quick video that's another artist had posted
Right.
about how I think it was Meta just laid off a pile of their workforce, and
Right.
all these big companies are just whatever
Yeah.
AIing everything
Yep.
and just laying people off, and in the most like just the rudest way too. It's so impersonal. Like they
Right.
sent a mass email to their people, to their employees, and saying like work from home tomorrow, and then sent them all an email saying like
Don't come in ever again.
don't come in ever again. Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's
They just treat you like
like,
you're expendable. And
yeah.
I mean, I think people are gonna realize, and who knows when this will happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but it's looking like it's moving in that direction when, when you're gonna get rid of entire forces of actual human beings, you know, people we are the ones that make money for these big companies and
Yeah.
these billionaires, and without
Mhm.
workers, you don't have anything,
Well,
so
and without consumers,
right.
how much do you wanna go to a Marvel movie after finding out they laid off their entire art department?
Oh, not at all, not at all.
No,
And
no.
if people aren't making money, people aren't spending money. And,
Mhm,
I've even done that too with, a lot of these companies that roll back, the DEI and all that stuff. I have a list of companies that I'm like, I don't buy from them anymore.
mhm,
And I think a lot of people are doing that. And, you know, that's how you affect these big companies is, you hit them in the wallet.
mhm.
Which, I know it's like it's impossible to, you have to buy stuff, unfortunately, but I've just been trying to keep my like just small spending down.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very it's very
It's
discouraging.
it is very discouraging, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's any inclination by the powers that be to
they don't
hamper
care.
any of that either.
No.
No. So, yeah,
And I don't
it's
know what
kinda
it's like in Canada right now, but I'm pretty sure the Trump administration, which, obviously is horrible, and I'm pretty sure that they keep blocking states from regulating AI. So it's like it's just a free
oh,
for all.
really?
Yeah,
Oh. I
which is
don't know
horrible.
what's happening with, with regulating AI in Canada, but we're very much like, I don't think that any government is moving as fast as these companies are moving,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the unfortunate part is like government is so slow
Yeah.
to catch up to that.
It's so fast
Um,
paced with like I feel like things are changing. You know, even when the generative AI started coming out for people to use, whether that was like I know it was like during COVID, like 2022 or whenever that was.
mm,
Even just since then, it's like on a whole other. It's just like I feel like it can't be stopped, and
mhm,
I hate it, and I'm tired of seeing people defend
mm,
it. You know, and it's I don't know.
yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's very weird. I mean, if you told me this was going to be an issue, I would have been like even 5, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you because
Oh, me either.
I would have been like, that's for one thing, AI and what we have,
Yeah,
they're not actually artificial intelligence,
yeah,
right? And so that was always the argument up until when they released it was that there's no such thing as an
right.
artificial intelligence. They're just uh big data. And
Yep,
that is
yep,
enough though.
yep.
And
It,
that's where no one believed that was possible because
right,
they've been working on AI since 1950s, 1960s. Like
right. Hmm.
it's been a goal for a very long time.
Yeah,
And I believe it was the CIA and DARPA that originally
right.
pioneered that. Uh, but no one believed it could actually affect things the way that and yeah,
Yeah.
now we're
It
kind of getting that outworking of it.
it never even, and I don't know why, but it never even crossed my mind that that like you know generative AI was just going to be pumping out like these garbage memes and posters and just like stuff that
Hmm.
was horrible. That just and music too, and you know it just
Yeah.
never crossed my mind, and I don't know
Mhm.
why. Um,
No, I mean, you just don't think of it. Why would you need that?
yeah, it all looks the
People are
same.
doing
You know,
it for free.
terrible. Yeah, exactly. And like
Right.
I'm all for different levels of AI when it comes to like cancer research and, you know, medical research,
Yeah.
like things that actually improve the well-being of society.
Hmm.
But like nobody needs
Hmm.
to make their event poster out of some shit AI. Like they just
No,
hire an artist. People have been hiring
right?
artists since the dawn of time for this shit.
That
Like,
thing kind of took me for a loop too. And I was thinking, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, where is that line for me? Because I
yeah,
think it's becoming a very personal thing.
right.
And I'm not a doctor. I
Me
can't
neither.
really speak to being a doctor, right?
Right.
And if it helps a doctor do his job more efficiently, like who am I to say he
Yeah.
shouldn't use or she shouldn't use it?
Yeah.
But that's not where I feel like I have any kind of knowledge. But
Yeah.
when it comes to images
Yeah.
and
It's just
creating art,
just lazy.
it's lazy, but it's also um, why is making images important for humans?
Right. It's the process. And
It's
then
the process,
you're
but it's
taking
also it's intrinsic, right? Like there's something intrinsically important about the expression of an ephemeral being,
right.
right?
I agree.
Your life, my life, we're finite. A machine is not. I mean, unless we dump water on its motherboard, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not finite. We've all we create work from like this place where we've come out of suffering. And I
Right.
mean, every single being suffers, right? We're
Right.
all born out of
Mhm.
a nice cozy womb into
Yep.
this cold, horrible place,
Yep.
right? Like it's just part of that human experience. So I feel like human expression um, is just it's not you can't really replicate it. And I feel like we're projecting into the future in a way a computer can't.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, especially with artists and writers and musicians, I guess if they're using AI, I just don't understand because you're cutting corners and the entire point of being an artist or a writer is that you enjoy the process of painting and writing, you know? And then so then if you don't want to do those things and you're taking that element away, I think you're in the wrong field. Go do something
Hmm.
else. You know, like
Absolutely.
I just I don't, I you know, I don't understand. I don't get it. People just want things immediately, and I feel like a lot of
Hmm.
people that are using AI, they just want to jump on the next big thing to be like, what's going to get me more money? What's going to get me more followers?
Hmm.
I don't care who it hurts in the process.
No.
I'm going to do it. And
Well, and you remember NFTs,
oh god, I knew
right?
that
What
was going
happened to
to
that?
fall by the
What
wayside,
happened to
right?
that? It's
Yeah,
gone. It's
I
over.
know.
Right? Like the
Ugh.
time has it came in and went so fast.
And those were so stupid. I even like remember seeing
Yeah.
some big artists doing those, and I'm like, this is going to be dead in like less than 2 years. So have fun.
Oh
Have fun
man,
with like
I watched one artist and I collected a piece of hers and and then she got into NFTs and she like changed her style and you could tell it knocked her it knocked her bad because
yeah.
she went from creating this contemporary work to NFTs in it, and she switched to digital art, and then she didn't make work for like a year,
Oh,
and then she came back, and you could tell it wasn't
it's tough.
organic references. Like
Yeah.
it had a very AI feel to it,
Yeah.
and people, I don't think people were picking up what she was putting down after that.
Yeah.
Like it really kind of harmed her whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Then there's other
I
artists
liked
where
her
like, it
work
doesn't
before
help.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, maybe she'll get back to it, hopefully. I would.
hopefully.
Yeah.
I really it's hard to watch intelligent people feel like they need to jump on the next big thing
I know.
and not use that like critical mindset of like,
Maybe I should think
why
about this.
yeah, why would I just do what everyone else like why would I do this just because it's popular?
I know. And I feel like there's so many trends with that with social media, and I get it. People need to get more followers because more followers mean customers, which is what we all want, but
Hmm.
there's so many things that I'm just like I refuse to
Hmm.
participate because I feel like I'm not being myself. And if that
Yeah.
hurts my business, oh well, I'm just going to keep painting and that's it.
I have mad respect for that. Like, I really do because I feel that way. And that's why I don't want to do little edited things unless I'm really feeling it. Unless
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, okay, I want to say this and I can encapsulate it in this time frame and that's
right.
fine. But I don't want to make education and I don't want to make entertainment like
No,
goofy things
me neither.
because I can't sustain that.
Yeah.
It's like when I see Andrea and she's
Yes,
got her funny little reels, she is funny and she
she
can
is.
sustain that. I
Yes.
might be able
And it
to
works
eke
with her
out
artwork.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
does.
know, yeah. Her
And I'd
memes
be
are
like,
great.
that's
Yes.
it. Yeah. Hers
I
are
feel
great
yeah.
and she's able to keep it up and
Yeah.
I mean that's wonderful. But
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I can't. Yeah, I'm just not good at that. Like I feel like I've posted a couple memes if it's like horror, like shots from like movies or
Yeah.
films. Like I can do that, but
Hmm.
it's not my original idea, you know.
Hmm.
Um but I just don't think it works for the paintings I do.
Yeah.
But I wish it did, but it doesn't work for me unfortunately.
No. And it's funny too. Like I've watched some horror themed artists and they have a very solid aesthetic, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And they'll kind of get costumed up
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
I love Goo Lily. I
I
love
don't
her work.
I don't know
She's
if I know.
also a tattoo artist. She does
Okay.
like the flowers with the eyeballs. She has these like floral pieces with like eyeballs and whatever, and they're kind of horror-esque, but not
Yeah.
really. But and her tattoo work is the same.
Yeah.
So I really like that she has but she kind of does the same thing that and I forgot her name, the pink hair lady.
I'm so
That
bad. So bad
I'm
with
so
names.
bad with names too.
I know.
But they'll do like these aesthetic-y photo sessions,
Right.
right? And they're like very beautiful, and
Yeah.
they've got the whole costuming thing going on, and it's like, that's awesome.
I wish I could do
I
stuff like that. I
yeah,
just feel like
I
I
I
can't.
don't have the OnlyFans body. Like, I don't have, like, you know what I
No, I
mean?
know how
Like,
you
I'm
feel.
not that I think they're doing that. I'm not trying to say they're
Yeah,
being
oh, yeah,
sleazy
yeah.
or anything. I just mean, like, I
Being able to,
personally
like, set up photo shoots and, you know,
yeah.
I'm not good at that stuff, like, I had to learn how to, professionally take photos of my paintings, but
Mhm.
it's hard, because like, I'm
It's
not a
really
photographer,
hard.
I don't have a, photography background, but, I
Yeah.
wish I was better at that stuff, I'm just not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a whole different learning curve when you've
It is,
gotta do photography and stuff, and
yeah.
I did a bit of photography when I was a kid, like, but it was, like, astrophotography. I like
Yeah,
doing, like taking my manual camera and doing, like, star trails and stuff like that,
yeah.
but I mean, taking photos of wet paintings, which is something I have to do today, is so challenging. It is so challenging. It's like, for anyone who's not an oil painter, like, I want you to envision, like, oiling up a sweaty person and, like, going and taking photos.
I it's hard. I
Yeah.
know, I had to get one of those, like, big photography light boxes,
Oh, nice.
that really helps, and taking photos outside on, like, a overcast day is, like, the best time because then there's not a lot of glare, and then the color looks the way it should with, like, minimal editing,
Mhm.
but yeah, the light box comes in handy. I mostly got that
Mm.
for, taking pictures of the televisions. That really helps.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because 'cause you've got well, I guess do you put the lens in front of them?
No,
Or
so, like, all
no?
of that stuff comes out,
Okay.
because I feel like there would just be too much
Mhm.
glare with that.
Distortion even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then I have to like, the entire TV gets gutted except for the speaker, if I
Okay.
wanna do the audio, and then I have to all of my canvases are, like, cut out wood panels from, like, a table saw, so then, like,
Mhm.
all of those have to be, um sized correctly to the opening of the television, which can be challenging. But even
Mhm.
like my regular square paintings, I don't use regular canvases. I cut them out from wood so that they don't warp, and then I stretch unprimed canvas on it, and then I do the sketch, and then
Mm.
I do clear gesso over it. It's probably like way too much work, but it's just what I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
Um,
I kinda do something similar. I don't use canvas, but, um, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
And I've touched on this with Morgan too, like, it's interesting, like, hearing your process because
yeah.
where there's a back end to this art thing people don't see.
Oh, yeah, it's like takes up your entire day, even just doing
Mhm.
that aspect of it, it's just hours, it's hours of work
Yeah, I
before
don't
you
think
even get to the painting. Like,
yeah, and it's for me, I feel like I don't even get it done in one day, like, because I'll sand in between, so then it's, like,
yep,
multiple days
yep.
of multitask. It probably does take an entire day,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like, multitasking
And then, like,
through
you gotta let the clear primer that I use that goes on the cloth canvas, takes, like,
Mhm.
hours to dry, and I have to do, like, 3 layers of that.
Ah, what br do you mind me asking what brand you use?
I think it's I see it over there, but I can't see it.
Is it Liquid X?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah,
Okay. I was like trying to think. I'm like, why is my brain dying right now?
that's
Yes.
okay. I used Liquid X for years, I still have it. Can I recommend one to you? I don't know if you
Yes.
can get it in the States, but it's called Try Art.
Try
Try
art.
like Triceratops and
Okay.
then art. It's a Canadian product. Morgan turned me onto it
Oh,
actually.
nice. Yeah, she always knows
Um,
all the good stuff to
she's
use.
like she knows all the things, she's tried everything, right?
Yep.
But so what I found with the Liquid X Clear is it's got a grit in it, right?
Okay.
And I would always have to sand it away because otherwise I get this like gritty
Like lumpy.
surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got a bit of they actually it says in their product what it is exactly,
Okay.
but it's meant to give, some tooth
Okay.
to but I found it way too much tooth for me,
Yeah.
so I would always sand it off. So I would be doing multiple layers, sanding it down, so much sanding. I bought this stuff, it's called Tri Art. Let me see if I can find it.
Sure.
Um, and I believe that it is, I want to say it's out of Ontario.
Okay.
So it's this product.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes,
You
good. It
know,
is clear too. So let me
it
see.
is a clear gesso. Yes.
Yeah.
I would only have recommended if it was clear.
Yeah.
Because I do the same thing. I like to sketch
Yeah.
on my canvas and then I clear it 2 or 3 times and then paint over it.
Yeah.
This goes on like so satiny
Oh, yeah.
and so matte. It doesn't have that texture to it.
Okay.
So yeah, it feels very smooth. So if you like a smooth surface,
I
I
do.
found this is really good. And what I've been doing with this is just taking a roller,
Oh,
excuse
okay.
me, and like rolling it on with a sponge roller. Um, and then you get this beautiful, the sponge does give it a bit of texture, but I don't love the brush marks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem I have with the gesso I use is and I'm so like I have to keep going over it until those brush marks are gone, and it drives me insane. If there's even like one line, I'm like, oh god. But like the
That's
more
because
layers I do,
it
they
changes
better.
everything,
It does.
right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to do realistic work, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna see it.
Yes. I just think it helps too with like I like doing it this way because I think it helps me to get that like blending that I really like to do.
Mhm.
I can't get that effect if I'm using like even just I don't understand how oil painters use regular canvas because I feel like it just smears all over the place.
Yeah,
Or
it's
maybe
kind
I'm
of
doing
like
it wrong, but it doesn't work for me for some reason. I can't
no,
do it.
I can't. I've never gotten into using canvas. Like I'll use it for landscapes because they're meant to be sort of obfuscated anyway.
Hmm.
But like whenever you're doing detailed work, I like that smooth surface.
Me too.
Uh, Otherwise, I feel like I'm painting on shreddies.
Yeah.
Like I
Mhm.
feel like there's just too much texture. And I mean, the biggest thing I don't like about canvas is when it's stretched and you've got the bounce. I
I don't
hate
like
the
that. Yeah, I don't
bounce.
like that either. That's why I like it with just the canvas on the wood because then it's nice and
Hmm.
flat. Then it's not going to warp because it's thick.
Yeah.
Um, because I've had issues with that, like when I messed around with like the regular canvases that you buy at a store. Some of them warp over time.
Hmm.
I don't
Because it's
like.
just fabric,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep.
Do you
And like
have like a
for wood.
favorite? Yeah. Do you have a favorite weave?
Um, you know, I have had. I buy it in like bulk, like a huge square of it at a time. I don't even remember what I bought the last time. I want to say it was like 50 something. I don't even I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Well,
As long as it's
like
stretched.
a fancy linen or just
Yeah,
canvas?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
I'm actually like looking at it right over there. It's in like it's all squared up, but as long as it has like a nice stretch to it when you're stretching it. Because some of it's too thick and it just doesn't stretch well, but
Yeah.
um I don't really notice too much of a difference if like if I do change it up, but I've had that one for so long. I honestly don't even remember what it is. But it lasts a
If
long
it
time.
works,
Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
awesome.
get good
I know,
use out.
I often think like canvas would be so good for shipping,
Oh,
especially if you're taking it off and
yes.
just rolling it up and
Yep.
shipping it.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if I'd be able to do that because when you prime it, because I've had paintings that I've abandoned where I've taken the canvas off and I'm like, I'm going to use this wood for something else. And the
Mhm.
primer soaks through the canvas and it sticks to that wood, so you do have to kind of like peel it off. Like the painting's okay,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
restretching it makes it a little difficult because I think it's just a little too,
that
it's too
makes
like
sense.
cemented in there. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. I often think about, well, I watched this one painter and he just takes canvas and like tacks it to a wall and goes about his business. And
Yeah.
Torsten Wolber, I think is his name.
Okay.
Yeah, he does these beautiful, like contemporary, like abstract portraiture kind of.
Oh,
It's
nice.
insane. Like
Yeah.
he's mental. I wish I could paint like that. Just
Yeah.
free, and he'll just kind of do it in a session or two, and
Me
you're like,
too.
whatever, get out of here.
I feel like I'm not very good at that.
No.
All of my, especially like when I'm painting bodies, whether it's, like if I'm painting women, I paint myself, and then if I'm painting men, my boyfriend begrudgingly is my photo reference. He doesn't like doing it, um I always take photo references, and then the sketch, like every muscle, every like vein has to be shaded in just right before I start painting, because I'm like, it needs to look like this.
Mhm.
Like I'm just not good at going on the fly and just redrawing it. It's like once I get that sketch, I'm like, that's the one I'm using, and then I'm tracing that onto the canvas because I'm not redrawing it, and then
Mhm.
yeah, very. I wish I could be freer. Like I would like to experiment and try that more, but I just don't feel like I'm very good at it.
It would take me, I mean, that's why I have these landscapes that just kind of sit there forever because they're kind of my
Yeah.
almost like a workshop
Yeah.
for technique. Like,
Like a little escape to try something else.
yeah, try something I'm not good at,
Yeah.
which is,
I think
oh,
I still think, I'm like, they look fantastic.
this whole corner is like
Landscape central.
finished. It needs to be, yeah. And like every time I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks bad to me,
Yeah.
but
I feel
I
like
think I'm
stepping
seeing it up
away
close
helps
too.
sometimes. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if I'm staring at something for too long, I'm like, let me put this down. I'll go work on something else. And then you come back and then you're like, this is what I want to fix. Maybe I'll try this. And then
Hmm.
it usually works out in the end.
Yeah. I know, and for landscapes, I find that hard because it's almost like you have to acquire an eye
Yeah,
for that thing. And I've been doing kind of like figurative surrealism for so long.
right,
I was even trying to, I try to occasionally work with more realistic pigments because I don't
right.
typically. And you work with very traditional pigments, right? I've
Um,
noticed that in your
yeah,
work.
sometimes. There's like a couple where I have a lot of inspiration also from like animation and like old school, like Don Bluth is a big inspiration for
Oh
me.
my gosh.
He's like,
Yes.
I could go on and on about him all day. And like some
Yes.
of yeah, like some of my paintings, I remember.
Child.
There's that swamp witch one I have with she's like a green figure with the pumpkin. That one I actually like. I remember I looked at a scene from Secret of Nim that I was like, I love this color scheme and this is what I'm using. So then like that will
Mhm.
be more like bright and fantastical, and then there's others where I'm like, I want this to look more like Renaissance, which is
Mhm.
hard, and I still feel like I can't get it right. Like I feel like it's just in my own style, and like I'm like, I just don't think I can actually get it to look like a Renaissance painting, but that's okay. It's like
Mhm.
it's going to come out the way it does. But
Oh, I know. It's so hard when you're comparing yourself to someone that you really admire.
oh
I think
yes,
we were both in that Modern Eden show,
was it the
right?
portrait show? The portrait show, I
It was the
think.
portrait one that was based on the Masterworks,
Yes, that was a fun
right?
show.
That was a fun
Love
show.
I love stuff like that.
I I loved it too. I picked a Rossetti piece,
Yes,
and I remember you picked something that was
it was a
it
I
was
think
more Renaissance.
yeah, I think it was a John the Baptist painting. So many artists have done John the Baptist, but like 99% sure it was Caravaggio, I think is the
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was a Caravaggio. And I mean, how do you like follow in Caravaggio's footsteps, right?
I
And
know.
not feel intimidated?
Yep. And I loved that painting, and somebody bought it at that show, and
Oh wow.
I have no idea who bought it or where it is, and I want to know so bad like where this painting is because I love that painting, and I'm like I don't know where it
Uh,
is. Who are
that's so
you?
hard, hey?
I
Like that
know.
was one of the hardest things and that I didn't realize about working with galleries is you don't always know the collector
Nope.
because it's their collector.
Yep.
And if you ask, sometimes they're not happy with you.
Yeah.
I don't think Modern Eden would be like that because they deal with all kinds of artists, right? And I feel like they're
Yeah, and
probably more
I've
understanding.
I've thought about sending them an email because I want to start printing certificates of authenticity. So I wanted to
Hmm.
email them to say like, would the person who bought this be interested in having that certificate? And I really would like to thank the person that bought that painting because that was such a hard time. My mom was passing away during that week, and they bought that painting like the day after my mom passed away, and it was really like financially helpful during that time, and I just would
Oh,
love to say like thank you for that.
oh yeah, amazing. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully they're watching and
that would be
they
nice.
maybe they could connect with you. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that that's so fortuitous, right? Like, and
yeah,
I've experienced that too, where you're like, man, this horrible thing happened to me. I lost somebody, something bad happened in my life, and then a painting will sell, and you're like,
yeah.
this
Wow.
is just like a lifeline that someone has thrown you.
Absolutely. And just that
Yeah.
somebody else loves something that you love and that you worked really hard on. It was so wonderful. Um, and sometimes I'll
Mhm.
even post on Instagram stories, like I'll repost that painting and I'm like, are you following me? Like, where are you?
Yeah.
Like, where's that? Where are you painting? I want to know where you are.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, right? It's like you want to connect with people. And I have to say, and we've chatted about this, you've
Yeah.
had some cool people buy your work.
Yes. So I used to show a lot with Gallery 1988, and the TV paintings did pretty well over there because they were very pop culture.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I think they just closed recently, which I
Yeah.
know makes me so upset. Um, but I did I did a WandaVision painting, which I loved
Mhm.
that painting, and it sold like the first day. I had no idea who
Wow.
bought it. Um, and then I forget I was talking to the gallery on the phone about a show coming up because I was shipping something to them. I forget what we were talking about, something with the shipping. And I think I think I brought it up or they brought it up and I was like, who bought that? Like who bought that painting? And they were like, "Oh, it's I forget his name. But it's the guy who created the show Riverdale. And I think he works
Oh.
like I think he's done executive producing maybe on Marvel stuff too, which is I think maybe why he liked the WandaVision. But when I found that out, I was like, that is so freaking
That's
cool.
so
Like,
cool. That's
yeah,
so
and
cool.
now I know where the painting is because I feel like most of the people who have bought my stuff over the years, like I know them personally now, and
Oh,
I
that's so
just
cool.
yeah, like, and I just like to know that the painting is in a nice, safe space with somebody who cares about it, and um,
Absolutely.
and obviously, I mean, if you're going to spend thousands of dollars on a painting, they're going to take care of it. But I just like to know.
Hmm.
I just wish I knew
Oh yeah.
where it was. That's all. It's
No,
like giving
that's
your
fair.
child away. It's like where, like I would like to know where it
Yeah.
is. Like I don't
Oh,
know.
definitely. That's
Yeah,
something I feel like I've been pretty fortunate with.
yeah,
Just being able to like connect with collectors. I have one collector and she has like three of my favorite pieces
yeah.
and she'll periodically send me photos of how she's put them in her home
Oh,
and I'm
I
always like,
love.
oh my gosh,
I
thank you so
know
much.
that's the
You're like the best
best. That's the
person ever.
best. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love collectors. Like they don't realize how much they shape our lives.
They really do. One
Yeah.
of one of my biggest collectors, he's like one of my best friends now, but he owns like 10 plus of my paintings. And it's great because whenever I hang out with him or if I go to visit him, I get to like visit the paintings too. And so that's always
Nice.
nice. It's like a little reunion.
Yeah, it's like, hello, little painting.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
meeting you and it was so fun.
yeah. And I feel like they're snapshots of who you were at that time
Oh,
too.
absolutely. And a
Yeah.
time that I wish I could go back to sometimes. I'm like,
Right?
man, I miss the like pre-COVID days. I miss the pre-Trump days. Like, take me back,
Yeah.
please. Like,
Sometimes I think back to the summer of, I think it was 2016. I'm
yeah,
like, man, we did not know
we had
how
no
good we
idea.
had it.
I
It was
know.
such a
I
good
know.
summer.
Yeah.
I remember that summer because we lived in Penticton and there's this beautiful boardwalk along the lake. And it's like a very party atmosphere. And when my kids would just taking up roller skating. So she'd
Yeah.
roller skate and we'd walk. And I was like, "Oh, this is nice." And now I look back on it and I'm like, that was such an amazing moment in my life. Like,
Absolutely.
I wish I could go back to that.
Me too. Take me back.
Right? And I feel like everyone was way less political and
Yep.
yeah,
I miss those days.
I miss those days. Yeah.
I always try to live in those days as much as I can, just with like like slightly less technology and just trying to
Mhm.
be sane for myself. I'm always just like, oh, I just wish it was, yeah, like 2012 or 15 or 16. That would be
It's
nice.
so interesting too, because like I've had the opportunity to work with people who are a lot younger than me, 25, 26, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I've realized like I'll send them a message and they will never respond.
Oh,
And I'm like, I've asked other coworkers, I'm like, I messaged so and so. Do they just not like me? And they're, oh no, they never respond to anybody, actually.
it's like,
They
why?
just don't. And then talking to them, they're just like, yeah, I hate social media. As much as I can, I get off of it. And I feel like
That's good.
because
Yeah.
they've grown up in this hyper connective world,
Yeah.
um, they're just starting to turn off everything. And
That's,
really
that's good.
they're nostalgic for a time they never knew.
Yep.
Right. The way we're nostalgic for the Renaissance,
Right.
they're
Yeah,
nostalgic
exactly.
for the 90s, right?
Yep.
Where you went out and you met people,
Yep.
you went out and you connected with real people.
I
You
miss oh man, I miss the 90s. I would or just even like the very early 2000s and like I would
right? It
I would go
was a
back
good
there.
time.
Yeah, I'd go back there in a second if I could.
Right? I remember watching, I was saying this kid that I was working with. I'm like, I remember he was talking about the Matrix and I was like, I remember watching it in the theater.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? Like, yeah,
That's what
I
I did back
remember.
then.
Well, yeah, you would go and watch a new movie in the theater. Go to the theater, and the theater was packed.
Yeah.
Everyone was watching it in the theater. It didn't even
Yeah.
have to be a weekend.
And it was such a better experience than it is now. Like even like my boyfriend he's very into film and he like back in the 90s and the early 2000s he was a film projectionist for theaters.
Wow.
And like he would make sure that all of the screens looked the way they were supposed to, the sound was adjusted the way it was supposed to be, and it's like so that you get the best presentation that you can. And that's one of the big
Mhm.
reasons why I don't go to the theater anymore, because well, people are talking and they're on their phones, and it like they're hiring people that like they don't know how to do any of that stuff and they don't give a shit, and
No,
it doesn't look or sound good anymore to me, I don't think. Kind of sucks.
no, and it does suck. And then when you watch things at home, it's almost like everyone's mumbling.
Yeah.
And I already have like a audio processing issues.
Yeah.
And so I rely a lot on like reading
The
people's mouths.
subtitles. Yeah.
Yeah, or just like even being able to see your face
Right.
and read your lips,
Yep.
which was very hard during COVID. And a bunch of my
Yeah.
kids also have that. So the whole mask thing was so hard,
It's
just
tough.
so hard.
Yep.
Um, Trying to parse out what people are saying. Even if someone's talking and I'm beside them, I'm like, I
Yeah,
can't
like,
hear
I can't
you.
hear
I'm
you.
sorry. I
I
might as well. I have perfect hearing. I might as well be deaf
Yeah,
because it's so
I
hard to
can't hear
parse it together.
you.
And
Yep,
then having sound in movies be all over the place or those really,
it's not
really
great.
loud parts, and then the talking is so quiet, I can't
I know.
hear it. Very
And it's
it's
like
hard.
those positions used to be like careers, like people took that stuff serious.
Absolutely.
Like, especially working with actual film, like
Hmm.
those were careers. Nobody knows how to do it anymore. Like my boyfriend is from like the last generation of people that really know how to do that because nobody teaches that anymore. Um,
And I mean, I could talk forever about film because I love film too. I
Me
mean,
too.
even watching, I don't know, have you watched some of the old movies that you loved on this garbage HD crap?
you know, See, like this is where Jeff needs to come on here and talk about this because he is like he's an encyclopedia on even just like how to set your TV up the right way. And
Okay.
yeah, so like
I need to have a call.
yes, yeah,
We need to
oh,
call.
absolutely, because he is all about the presentation and 4K. Like, if
Hmm.
not all older movies have like 4K restoration,
No.
but when a company actually will grab it and like scrub it clean, where they make it look the way it's supposed to, like it looks fantastic. And especially if your TV's like set up the right way. But he has an OLED TV, and they're like the best to
Okay.
watch on. Like, honestly, like I would rather watch something on his TV than go to the theater. um
Oh, nice.
yeah. But yeah, like some of the older movies, like if they just don't get the treatment, they don't look they don't look great on that TV because they've just never
No.
been.
It's too sharp. Like it's
Yeah,
too much definition.
yeah.
Oh, I think we were watching Twin Peaks or
Oh yeah,
X-Files or something,
yeah.
and it was like that 4K garbage, and it was like really
Too
it
much.
almost
Yeah,
looked like stickers. Like it just didn't look right, and
yeah.
it just takes you out of the experience.
Right.
And then when you watch it the way it's supposed to be, like organically, how
Yeah.
we watched it on through glass,
Yep.
um, it has a softness.
Yep.
It has this emotive quality
Right.
that it reminds me of a painting, like, and these, like when you talk about David Lynch, like such a visionary,
Uh,
and then if he could see what 4K was doing to his work, I think
yeah.
he
And I think
would like
yeah, like I think it depends on the
be
company.
resurrected and die again,
Yeah, like I think it depends on like the company doing it too, because some of them they're not doing it the right way, and that might
Mm,
not be like the right way to say it, but like some of them just because like I remember Jeff has shown me some like side by side comparisons of like what it looked like before and this, and like some of the 4Ks, they're just like going too far. Or
yeah.
I, he can explain it better than I can, but yeah, like some of the companies, I feel like they're not
It
doing
gets into that like uncanny valley territory where you're
right.
like, I know because I experienced this
Right.
movie or this TV show. I know that's not how it looked.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I'm really curious because film and all this stuff is such a big inspiration for you. Where did that begin?
Um, that was probably since I was a kid, and like art in general. I mean, ever since I was, very, very tiny. Like I said, I loved animation. And just growing up, like my brother and I were very into watching movies. And I always feel like, I was born at the very tail end of the 80s, so I didn't really get to experience the 80s, but I feel like it was close enough to the 90s that a lot of that overlapped, and we watched movies from like the 50s up until the 90s, and just it was a big mix of things. And I think when I was that little, it's like you don't realize that when you're watching Ghostbusters, it's like even though it's like 1995, I didn't realize that that was made like 10 years prior. So it's like you think that that is like the timeline that you're in. Um, and so yeah, like that was just a really big part of our childhood, and I feel like a lot of that still is a big inspiration for me today because even when I'm painting, like I always have to have a movie on in the background. It's just like a nice ritual that I do because it just takes me, it just puts me in like a good spot to be when I'm painting. It's like a
Mhm.
thing that I really enjoy doing.
And do you feel like you were watching things from the 50s and 60s because they were what your parents were into?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Like, my dad was probably a big part of that because he loves Turner Classic Movies, and so I love Turner Classic Movies, and
Yeah.
um, another big movie that was great for us when we were little because my dad loved it was That Thing You Do. If you've seen that,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think, a huge love for mid-century modern came from that too. And I just remember seeing that in the theater with my dad like several times. And we were little; we were like 5 or 6, I think, when that came out. So, um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just yeah. But yeah, we can thank my dad for that, and music too. Like he's a huge Brian Wilson fan, and so I grew up loving the Beach Boys and seeing Brian Wilson live many times, and
Oh, wow.
yeah. Um, and then so like I remember like later becoming a teenager hearing what everybody else was listening to. I was like, ugh. Like I don't
Yeah. Like, I don't like that at
yeah, I'm
all.
gonna go home and listen to the Beach Boys.
Is your dad like that boomer generation?
Yeah, so he
Mhm.
is he actually just turned 75.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, yeah. And you would never know. Like
Yeah.
he still looks pretty young, and oh, I love him. Like we get lunch like once a week and I see him all the
Mm.
time, and yeah.
Oh, that's
I love
awesome.
him so
You
much.
have that connection.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I touched on where on the planet you are.
Right, yeah,
Mind you,
I feel like I mentioned it,
you
but then I'm
just
like,
jumped
maybe I
in.
didn't, yeah. So I live in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I'm on the East Coast, and so I'm fairly close. I'm about like 2 hours from New York City and 2 hours from Philadelphia, which is convenient, but
Okay. And
yeah.
so I'm not super familiar with Pennsylvania. I've always kind of been under the impression that it's inland. Would you say that it is? Is it landlocked or
No,
are
so
you by the
I
coast?
mean like yeah, like it's technically locked, but where I live is like kind of really close to the border of New Jersey, and then New Jersey is like right on the coast. Um
Okay.
yeah, so like if I wanted to go to the beach, you just drive to New Jersey.
Mhm.
So like we are technically landlocked, but it's not very far.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, oh, Beach Boys normally hits
Oh
with
yeah.
people who
Yep.
are coastal, right? Like,
Yep. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
California, which is, I also love
Mhm.
California. That's a state I would love to be in, but whew,
Mhm.
it's expensive.
Oh, it's very expensive. Yeah. I've never been past Seattle, I think.
Oh, Seattle's great.
Um,
Love that place.
yeah. One of my kids was born in Seattle, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've never really had that opportunity to travel through the states. So I'm always having to ask questions. I'm like, hey,
Oh, absolutely.
I know where it is on a map, but what is it
Yep.
actually like to live in it, right?
I mean, honestly, I'm sick of being here. I mostly just stay because of, health insurance. Like moving to another state is, I can't just get up and go. I have to research to make sure I can get on Medicaid and get the insurance that I need, which is a whole other thing. But and
Mhm.
also I like being near my dad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I always have reservations about it's like I want to move and experience something else, but I also like, you know, I want to be around my family, so it's hard.
Mhm.
Hard.
Yeah, that's such a toss up, right? Like we moved away. And it was already hard to go and see my family
Yeah.
because we were in Okanagan and it's like 6 hours
Okay.
away from. I'm sorry, I'm Canadian, so
No,
every distance is in hours.
I love Canada. One of my favorite bands is Canadian, which we can talk about after.
Yeah. And now we've moved even further, but it was again because of affordability.
Oh yeah.
COVID messed up the economy so much.
I know your
So many
housing
people had to
is
leave.
like way worse than ours, and ours is bad. I know
Way worse. It's so
houses
bad.
like don't houses in Canada start at like 700,000? It's like that's like the
Something like that.
cheapest. Yeah.
Yeah. I know so like maybe it was pre-COVID or it was right at COVID. Um, a friend of ours, she could never she could they could never afford to buy a house in Summerland, and Summerland is this beautiful tiny community in the
Yeah.
Okanagan. But their family was there, and their family was able to purchase a dump for 650.
Oh my god. It's like
Like
California.
a
Like
total dump. Like they had to put tons of money they had to tear everything out and complete it was a new house when it was done. But yeah,
that's
that's
blows
the
my mind.
crazy part. It's like you can get a tear down for at that time 650, but now it's more.
Oh yeah.
um Even in the time we've been at in our place here in Alberta, and Alberta is so much cheaper than
Right.
anywhere else because we experience like 6 months of winter. It's
So
horrible.
long. Like that's so
It's so
long.
long. It's like take an ice pick to my head kind of long. Like I
Yeah.
freaking hate it. And I grew up in a place where it never snowed,
Yeah.
right?
And now it's
So
all the
now
time.
it's all the time, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yep.
And my kids are just like, I want to go home. I don't like it. And I'm like, I know. I wish we could,
I
but it's just not like that
Yeah.
anymore.
It's like it's like that in Pennsylvania. Our winters are really bad too. Like where I live, I'm a good 8 or 9 hours from like the Canadian border.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
New York State is right on top of us, and they're Canada's neighbor. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Ottawa for a while. I always wanted to make that trek, but I think I wasn't driving at the time, and
Yeah.
you kind of rely on other people, but I always wanted to go to New York so bad.
New York
Like,
is great. Like, my dad's actually from upstate New York, and he kind of has a little bit of that accent in there. Because
oh, cool.
like certain pockets of upstate New York have like a little bit of a Canadian accent because of how close they are.
They
Um,
are. We're very close, right? Like,
sorry that keeps going off. I don't know how to shut that off.
oh, I'm oblivious to whatever it is. It's
Oh, okay.
okay.
No, it was
Yeah.
because my sound's on my computer, the text message sound is going
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, totally. I can't hear it, so that's
Oh, okay,
okay.
good.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, we're so it's interesting how homogenous in a sense Canadians and American culture is.
Right.
And I think that because we're so similar, we assume that we're the same, and it's been really cool just to actually see how distinct we are.
Yeah.
But I always feel like like we're family.
Oh,
Like I
absolutely.
always feel like that whole like especially because we share so much culture, there's like a familiarity to it
Right.
where it's like no, we're and that's why it's been so sad to like see this divisive thing come up
I
with
know.
our
It's
cultures where it's like no, like that's not what we're not like what's happening here.
I know. And honestly, like trust me, a lot of people who hate what's going on are they are very upset with what this administration is trying to do with disconnecting us from our neighbors and our friends and even people overseas. I mean, it's
Mhm.
but like everybody who feels the way that we do, like we are with Canada and we hate that everything's just a shit show.
Yeah, it's silly. It's so silly. All of it is
It
because I
is.
feel like it's completely artificial,
It
right?
is.
Like it's not
We're
a
all
real
here
thing.
together and that's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, and we rely on one another for everything.
Yeah.
And like so for me, I very much I feel very connected to artists like yourself who are into the same kind of artwork that we are because it's a very
Yeah.
small pool of people that are into that figurative
Yep.
surrealism movement.
Yep.
We're not a lot of people, so we we're
I
like
agree.
and um one of the things that's really cool about it is just and just this is just off the top of my head, even just like looking at my calendar for the
Yep.
next month and a half or so, they're people I know, people who
Yep.
I've talked to, and people where I'm like, oh, I would love to talk to them in person. But they're
Absolutely.
also like they're all women, all
Yeah.
women.
That's what I love to
Like
see.
it was just like it just happened. It wasn't intentional. It was just
Yeah.
like I want to talk to this person, and then like,
Yeah.
hey,
It's
are
just
you
how it lined
available?
up.
Yeah, totally. It was
I
just
love
like
that.
this happened, and I think so after you, I'm talking to you know her, Sonia Velasquez, I believe is
Yes.
how I say
Yep.
her name. Um, love her work
Yeah,
too.
me
And
too. Me too.
yeah, and then after that is Liz Gridley, which is going to be a stretch for me because she is in a different time zone.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's hard.
she's in Australia,
Oh,
so
good.
this is gonna be interesting. We'll see how
Oh
lucid I
yes.
am
Oh yeah. No.
at
I
5
was just
a.m.
I was just talking to her the other day. She's great. We were talking about how scary like big beefy kangaroos are. Like
Oh, I bet that must be
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
everything about Australia kind of weirds me out. The spiders, the
oh, I can't do spiders, but
no.
I would love to go to Australia someday, but God,
Hmm.
plane rides, man. I have a hard time even just doing the California plane rides anymore. They're so long. So it's like
Yeah.
that's a long time to be
Oh,
sitting in one spot.
I haven't done a plane ride in yeah, probably over 20 years,
Oh my
probably.
god, that's a long
Yeah.
time. Woo.
Yeah, and the last time it was like a 16-hour, 17-hour
Ooh,
flight,
yeah, that'll do it. That'll do
and I
it.
was like, "I never wanna do that again." And
I
at the time, I was
yeah.
like, "You don't." I had always been told I wasn't experiencing migraines, but I was experiencing
Oh
migraines,
no.
and everyone would always tell me, "Oh, it's just a tension headache." I was like, "But is it?"
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, and so it was torture. It was
Yeah.
torture, right? I hated it. I hated every part of it.
Yeah. And honestly, like driving long distances, I have such a hard time with now too because my boyfriend lives in North Carolina, which is
Wow.
that's like 8.5 hours. And whenever we
Oh,
visit
no.
each other, we drive. And the last time I brought my cat with me, and whew, that was a thing. I even bought him this like, and it's huge. It's like as big as the whole back seat of my car, and it's like a cat carrier, but it's huge, you know, so that he could be comfortable. And
Aw.
um, I I really regret not getting him medication beforehand because
Oh,
he was pretty good, but I think he was mostly just upset because he didn't want to be in there and he wanted to like sit with me.
no.
Um,
Yeah.
and I remember on the car ride home, I did end up letting him like sit on my lap, and it ended up. I know that's like a little dangerous to do, but you
Yeah.
know, but he was fine. He just was like sleeping on my lap the whole time, and it was all right.
Mhm.
But
Aw, poor
yeah,
kitty. I
I know.
know, and I've never done it, so I don't know. But I have read that you can give them melatonin.
Yes, and if you get a prescription, I did this with my with my last cat because he hated being in the car and he was older. Get a prescription for them for gabapentin, knocks them right out.
Mm.
We'll just
Oh,
sleep
okay.
the entire time for
Yeah.
eight
I know I've
hours.
given it to my dogs. I've given them hemp oil.
Okay, good to know.
And I know that that can be as long as you're getting the dosage right, it
Right.
can be very good
Yeah,
for a nervous animal.
nice and soothing
Um,
for them.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's just it's funny. Some of them they can smell it in
Yeah,
the treat, and they'll be like, "No,
yeah.
I'm not gonna take it."
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know what you're
They
doing.
know.
I don't want this,
Yep.
and it's like it will make you feel so much better.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm just
Yeah,
trying to help. Please
yeah.
understand.
I have a very ancient pug, and he
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he has some kind of dementia.
oh,
Um,
poor
and
guy.
so I'm always trying to like help him calm down because he's so anxious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've taped him a few times. I'll pet his head, and then if I take my hand away, he'll like chirp. It's not even like a
Oh,
proper bark. He'll be like, "No," like keep
that's
going.
that's so cute. It's like, please don't stop doing
Yeah, don't stop
that.
doing but if
Oh,
I don't, if I just keep petting him, he expects that all day long. So
so
it's
sweet.
a little bit
As it
much,
should be,
as it
right?
should be, right?
Yep.
That is my sole purpose in
Yep.
life.
No, that's
That's obviously what he
cute.
thinks.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Yeah, but he does not want to take anything for it, which is not cool. It makes it
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, because like it was hard to give my former cat pills, but I would just get those little pill pockets and he would eat them right up, which was
Mm,
a
that's
lot
good.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are just like regular pills with like no taste to them. So I don't even think he
Mhm.
noticed that they were in there.
And I think that's the trick is it's if this was an oil that you put drops and
Right.
so he could smell it.
Yeah.
But maybe if I had capsules, then he couldn't. That
Yeah.
would maybe be better.
Or if like you put it in maybe like a human food that has like more of a smell, maybe he won't notice it as much.
I put it in cheese. Like I thought he
Yeah,
would
that
love
yeah,
it.
like you would think that
And
yeah,
he
he's
was
like,
like,
I'm
no,
not falling for it.
no, I know what this is.
Poor little guy.
So he's a bad boy.
Yeah. I know. I say that to my cat all the time. I'm like, you're taking
Yeah, but I love him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But okay, so one of my little questions that I have
Yes.
is what is your biggest challenge as a living artist?
Oh, I feel like it's probably the same answer as everybody, which would be, um, probably finances,
Yeah.
definitely, and just getting noticed. But half of that I feel like is my fault because I don't participate in social media probably the way that I should, and I don't leave my house as much as I should, and I just, um, I feel like it's been tough in like the last even just like 10 years. Where I'm just such a private person that I just don't want to post like what I'm doing all the time on social media, but I know
Absolutely.
but I know it hurts your business too, so
Hmm.
I need to get better at doing it in a way that works for me, I guess.
Yeah.
um and maybe just like I just haven't been submitting to galleries lately like I should. I don't know why, like I just feel like I've been very down the past 3
Hmm.
years cuz like just with all the like I've had cancer twice in the past 10 years, and a lot of that
Wow,
put things,
that's hard.
yeah, it made things harder, and especially the last one was such a challenge where like it really changed my life in a lot of like really negative ways, and then like my
Mm.
mom passed away like right when I was done with that second cancer, and
Ah,
it was really hard, and I feel like
it's brutal.
yeah, like that was 3 years ago at this point, and I just feel like I haven't come back from that. I'm trying to though, but I just feel like I've started a lot of paintings and I just have abandoned a lot of them because they're just not coming out the way that I want them to. But
Hmm.
hopefully, with this new series I'm doing is helping me to like get back into it, and it's working kind of so far. So I don't hate
Yeah.
all of them. I like two of the paintings. One of them I'm like, but you know.
So tell me about this new series.
Yes. So this one is gonna it's not for a show. I mean, like, I would love to put them in a gallery, but it's mostly just for me. I'm doing 3 paintings, and I'm working on them all at the same time because I want to make sure that they look, cohesive. Which is harder than, and I know a lot of artists do that, but I have a hard time with that. Because I'm such a slow painter. That's something else I need to work on is I need to learn how to speed it up a little bit. But uh, so I started this at the end of February, and it's called False Martyrs, and it's kind of going to be based around how like we were talking about how polarizing politics are, and I just feel like with there's such horrible people running everything right now, and I feel like so many people are putting their trust and their faith into false martyrs. Like people are putting all of these horrible human beings on pedestals, and the actual martyrs of society are the everyday people that are taking the hits, of like
Mhm.
financially, or like people getting murdered by ICE, and just all of these horrible atrocities that are going on. And so the series is themed in so it's going to be 3 male subjects, and they're kind of based around like mythological martyrs in either like religious history or just like Greek mythology. And so they're going to be depicted kind of like in that Renaissance style. But like they're the ones that are supposed to be like the actual martyrs that are taking the sacrifices for the everyday people. Um, you know, hopefully I explained that okay. I feel like I have such
No,
like brain
it's
fog
great.
anymore, but yeah. So they're almost done. I'm trying to get them finished before I post. You know, like I don't want to post one and then it's like a month later, then I post the next one. So I'm like, I'm trying to get them done so I can like post them consecutively. But
Right.
we're almost there. We're almost there.
It's, yeah, and I mean, people love to see the process too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
And
I've been really bad about that. Like I did do one Instagram live which was actually really fun where I kind of had like a movie watch party.
oh,
Um
cool.
yeah, and like I posted ahead of time. I'm like, this is the movie I'm going to put on. It's free on Tubi. Everybody can watch along if they want to, and I'll just be painting while we're watching the movie. Um
Nice.
yeah, and that was fun, and people could come on and like ask questions. And I just like
Mhm.
I need to get better at doing that. I don't particularly like doing time lapses or having to worry about a camera on me while I'm trying to be in the zone. It just really it takes me out of it because like I've done a couple time lapses, but I don't enjoy doing them because I'm thinking about the camera the entire time.
Yeah,
I'm like, is my
I know
head
what you
blocking
mean.
the way? Does this look okay? Am I going too slow? Like it's just
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I've stopped doing time lapses for a lot of things because it's become one of those things that's like the painting flip, It's so
Painting.
cliche.
I
I
know.
hate the painting. I have
I
no respect for the painting flip.
I
I
don't
did
like.
one
Yeah.
time because a gallery I was with was really pushing it, and it was
Yeah.
at the beginning of the flip thing. But now I'm seeing people, and they're like teasing it, like, or, and before they show it to you, and like they're trying to, and I'm like, scroll away. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna watch that.
And I'm like,
Like
I
you
don't
want
look.
to do a little painting strip tease? I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not, and like, I'm not really like into filming myself really either. So I'm like,
Mhm.
that's like a whole other like level of thing I have to do now with a painting. I don't want to do that. The best painting flip I've seen though was Rick Baker. He's a really
Okay.
famous um horror prosthetic artist and like makeup artist, and he did a painting flip and it was hilarious. The painting he did on the other side was just the back of the canvas.
Nice.
So he flipped it and it's just a mirror image of the back of the canvas, and I'm like, that's the best one. That's the best
Slow
one.
clap.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And it looked so realistic. Like I didn't realize it was a painting that he did.
Yeah, it's
I
like
thought
you're
it was like
watching
a
a feature.
yeah, I thought it was like a double canvas, and I was like, good job, sir.
No kidding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no respect for the flip. And I was trying to think, like there's gotta be some way to make fun of this that I could
Is it
make it into a reel. Because I
yeah.
was like, this is I just hate it so much. I just want people to
And like I
stop.
said, yeah, like I get why people do it. I can't be mad
Mhm.
at people for trying to get followers. Like that's fine,
But
but
now it's over.
yeah.
Okay? Like it
And
was a
if you're
thing,
if you're
it's
always
over.
doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, like what are you
You
doing?
don't
Like,
stand out.
yeah,
You don't
and that's
stand out anymore.
and I don't think that that's really you or your personality if you're just doing things that everybody else is doing.
Mhm.
I can't pretend to be or be into doing something that I'm just not into. Can't do it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Um, I think like your whatever it is, whether it's your paintings, whatever it is,
Yeah.
life is so short. You better
Yes.
enjoy whatever you're putting your energy into,
I
you
agree.
know? Yeah. And I mean, there are things I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I
Yeah.
don't mind filming myself.
Yeah.
I was a theater kid for
Right.
years, so for
Yeah.
me it's kind of like, oh, this is like da 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 da.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Like I
I get very
don't have a
shy
problem.
of like just
Yeah.
being on camera or just like doing stuff like that. I need to get better about it, but I'm always just like, I don't
I
know."
just don't like I don't like my voice. I don't like
I don't
looking at
like my voice
myself.
either.
I
I
don't
don't like
like
doing any of
eh,
those things with myself either.
no, like nobody does. And that
Yeah.
was that was kind of a revelation to me. Oh, nobody does.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
oh, okay.
We're
And
we're the only ones paying attention to it with ourselves, probably.
yeah, we're irritated with ourselves.
Yeah.
But everyone else is just kind of like, oh, it's good to see your face
Yeah.
because in the 900 some people I follow, I don't remember who this
Who's
person is and
who?
this person. I
Yep.
don't remember. So when I can see
Yep.
your face, then it's like it's that human connection.
Yeah.
And so even though I don't love it, I understand how it is a touch point for people
Absolutely.
because
That
yeah,
human connection element.
mhm.
I need to get better about it. I just I don't
Well,
know.
and like I see a beautiful and like lovely person in front of me, like
Thank you.
I
Same to
I
you.
yeah, like I'm just so happy to get that moment of connection with
Me
you
too.
because
Yeah.
often I find myself I'm terrible with names and I'm like I find myself getting confused. Well, who is this person and who is that person?
Especially when their handle is not their name and it's like something else, forget about it.
Yes.
I'm not going to remember
Mhm.
your name. I'm not going to do
Or
it.
the image is a piece of their artwork.
Right.
Sometimes even that will throw me
Yep.
where I'm like,
Me too.
"Okay,
Or
who
like
is
I
that?"
recognize the painting but I forget what their name is. And then
Yeah,
when I go to search them, I'm like, I don't remember what their actual name is
they are.
because their handle isn't their name. But I'm like, but I can recognize your paintings all day long. Like,
Yeah, it's hard, right? And it's like, whenever you can kind of and, like, I find too when I think about the artist and they have that image and that name and their work is almost always self-portraiture,
right,
it does help me remember who they are.
absolutely,
Um, yeah, yeah, so that's it's it's weird. I would never you would never have thought that, right? Like,
right,
Picasso never painted self-portraits, but
yeah,
right? Like, but we all know who he was.
yep,
But now we're in this age where there's, like, thousands of contemporary artists that we follow all the time.
right.
How do you differentiate them
It's true.
all?
Yeah,
Hmm,
I agree.
yeah, it's a weird world to be in.
It is, and it's changing like every second of the day.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's it's hard when you're doing something, especially something like what you're doing, where it's very much you're hearkening to art history, you're
Right,
hearkening to media history,
right.
you're grounding your all your things in something physical,
Yes.
um, and that's very much like such a deep value for you,
Yeah.
such a nostalgic thing
Yes.
to try and be part of a world that's so temporal.
Yeah. I definitely I just prefer maybe it's just because I still feel like I'm living in those times, like I mentioned before. I just feel like I can't adapt well to like all these changes in social media because and also it's like it's not what artists are meant to be doing. Like we're not meant to be influencers. It doesn't line up with, like paintings are not supposed to be done in a week, like
No.
technically they're supposed to take months, like
Hmm.
when you actually need to let it dry properly. I mean, like which nobody can do this anymore, especially if you're doing a commission or you have a show. I mean, like you are technically supposed to let an oil painting dry for 6 months before you varnish it.
Yeah, I know.
No customer wants to wait for that, and
No.
I try to cut it down to 1 or 2 months, and I always let people know, but sometimes people still will be like, this is taking really long. I'm like, this is what it takes. It's not, I'm not
Yeah.
digitally drawing this on Photoshop, which I can do
Mhm.
if you want that, if you want something quicker, but a painting is going to take time, like, or else you run the
Yeah.
risk of damaging it forever.
And I have let paintings go because I'll be like right at the very last minute touching things up
Me
and I'll
too.
give it to I'll give it to people in like an airtight but like covered Tupperware and I'll be like, let it dry
Don't
and
touch
then
this. Yeah.
hang it. Yeah, like let it dry for like a week.
Yep.
And then you can put it on your wall and then call me in 6 months and I'll varnish it. And they
Yep.
never call me back. And I'm like, well, whatever. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to do
Um,
that. Like, there was one show that I did for Nanny Goat Gallery last year, and the painting, I squeaked by to get it done, and there was just no way to varnish it. And I was like, I just don't want to ruin this, so I just mailed it to them, not varnished, and I was like, well, that's the way it is. But it didn't sell, and I got it back. So now it's sat the appropriate amount of time. So now I can varnish it for
Now you
next
can
time.
varnish it.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't know about you. I use Gamblin's touch varnish.
Varnishing is the part I hate most about painting because I have gone through so many different varnishes. I hate all of them. I hate all the way that they look on my paintings in particular.
Mm.
And I think that clear gesso surface has something to do with it, just because it's more textured. But
Mm.
um, the one that I've noticed that has worked the best for me is the Winsor and Newton satin varnish. It's the one it's right in between matte and gloss, and it just has that nice even coat that it's not too glossy and it's not too matte. And so like that's the one that I've been using lately. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When do you
I
find
I
that
do
right
like
varnish?
gambling though. I have a couple bottles of that one lying around.
Hmm.
And I know that
Hmm.
you can use that one when it's, you know, touch dry.
Touch
Like
dry.
yeah.
Yeah, and I use the gloss, but my work's very like black, very saturated.
Yeah.
So I find if I use a matte, it dulls that.
Yeah.
So I like to use the gloss myself, but
Oh
again,
yeah.
it's like a reflection of the work, right?
Yep.
Everyone's everyone's take on that is so particular and so what they want. But man, yeah, varnishing is nobody's favorite. I think sanding, like the prep and then the aftercare.
Yep.
If I
Hate it.
could throw all that
Hate it.
out, yeah, and
Or
I
just pay
understand
somebody
it,
else to do it. Like, somebody who's way
right?
better at it than me. Like if I financially could do that, I'd be like, do all of this. I'm
Do
not doing
it.
it
Yeah.
anymore. Because I just like I've damaged and ruined paintings that I've spent like months on
Mm.
because
Oh no.
because I didn't wait long enough to varnish it, or because like the client wanted it right away. And so now I make sure, and I tell them, I'm like, if you're going to commission me, you need to make sure that you don't need this painting now. It needs to be at least 2 months
Mm. Hmm.
next to the dehumidifier. Like,
Yeah. I know, I think it was Frazetta was famous for putting his work in the oven. And
yeah,
now they're finding these $1 million paintings have to be restored because they cracked.
yeah. I'm actually really good friends with Frank Frazetta's granddaughter.
What?
Yeah, I'm
Get
gonna
out of town.
yeah, because they're actually from the area in Pennsylvania that I live in, so
Oh,
they live around here, which is crazy to think about.
heck.
But I'm gonna have to ask her that because I feel like I've heard that, but I don't know too much about it.
I don't remember if it was Egyptian queen or if it was something like that. Man, I would love to have it's Sarah, right? Sarah Frazetta?
That's one of them.
One
I
of
don't
them.
know. Yeah, I don't know Sarah. I know Danielle.
Okay. Love
Yeah.
to have them on here. Is she
Oh
the one
yeah.
that does the
Oh,
Frazetta
absolutely.
girls?
I don't know if she's actually part of that company because I
Okay.
know that each of the Frazetta family, like they all own the rights to specific paintings.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Frazetta Girls is its own thing, but I'd have to ask. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm
Mhm.
sure she would love to come on here. She would.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I paint is because of Frazetta. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
love Frazetta and
He's the
whenever I've
king.
had the dark night of the soul, like why am I doing this? I'll look at the Frazetta prints that I have and I'm like, it's for you, Frank. It's because
It's
you.
yeah. And seeing his stuff in person is so mind blowing because
I'd love
like
to.
some of his stuff, it looks like the paint layers are so thin, but it's a masterpiece. Where I'm like, how did you get this movement with just like it's like one little thin layer of paint? It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
It's crazy. That
Yeah,
is like on my bucket list is to go to like the Frazetta Museum.
I
I think
live
there's
right
a
near there, so
Do
come
you
on
really?
down. Yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna be at your door and be like,
please
"Hey,
do.
let's go,
Yeah, and
Abigail."
uh, Danielle's dad, Bill Frazetta, he owns this really cool costume Halloween shop in town. It's you gotta go. You gotta go. It's
That
so
sounds
cool.
so cool. All the cool stuff is so far away.
I
Ah.
know. It's so random that like that's where I live and that they're from, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Like you would never think that.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
know they have like I don't know if it's still there, but Frazetta's house was a museum in
Y-
Florida too.
yes, yeah, I know some of the family lived down there, so that's probably
Right.
where that is.
Yeah, I got it one of these days. One of
Heck
these
yeah,
days. I
gotta
wanna go and,
come on down.
yeah, I was just talking to Robert Sullivan, he's in Maine,
Right.
and, he was talking about all the museums there too. Like, "I need to go. I need to, like, go
Yeah,
and see all
there's
this."
so many. I mean, even like, I live near New York City and I still haven't gone to all of them. It's over, it's a lot. It's a lot to
It
do.
is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. Um, so you've had your work in Arch Enemy, and
Yes.
that's in New York, right?
That's in Philadelphia, so it's very close.
Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where have you been able to like go to the openings and see
Yeah.
yourself in person?
Yep. So I've only been in one show with them. My painting's still there actually, but I would love to do more shows with them. I did go to the opening for that. That was for their open call. I want to say that was in that was during COVID, maybe 2022, somewhere around there. Um,
Hmm.
and I brought a few friends and we like stayed over, and yeah, that was such a great show. So many great pieces were in that show. But the other galleries I would normally work with are in California, so I don't really get to go to those. I do
Hmm.
try to make it over there as much as I can. Like before COVID, I used to go like once a year, but
Hmm.
um, I did do a horror convention over there. Whew, that was a lot of work. Vending a horror convention on the other side of the country. I had to put everything in suitcases and I just went on a plane, and that was in 2000, I think. That was really fun. But
I bet.
yeah, I would like to go to more openings. I just most of them are not near me, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the same problem, so
Yeah,
I fully understand.
yeah. Oop,
Yeah.
here's Mr. Goose. Hold on, let me bring him up.
Aw.
Look,
Oh, so
isn't he so
cute.
cute, my little
Aw,
baby?
he's a
My
sweet
little
kitty.
baby. It's like, what the hell are you
Aw.
doing?
What is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Yeah, so I was curious, do you have like for you, do you feel like you have like an ultimate goal that you're pointing yourself toward or
Um. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's probably the same as everybody else's answer, where it's like I would just love to, do this full time and make more money at it would be nice.
Mhm.
And like a big goal for me, I've never submitted, but I would love to be in High Fructose magazine. Like I've wanted that since like pre-college, and um, I feel like if I could actually get that like installation art series I was talking about finished and
Mhm.
actually have a show of that, I feel like they might be interested in that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
They actually did share the TV painting that I have in Arch Enemy when they posted it. High Fructose reshared that, and I was like, well,
Oh, no way.
at least I got that. So like,
Yeah,
I'll
no kidding, that's cool.
I'll take that for now. So that at
Mhm.
least shows me that they are interested. But if I
Mhm.
can ever get that series done, I would love to submit to them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be wild.
I would also love to own my own art gallery, which I know it's like so
Mm.
hard to do
That'd be so cool.
nowadays. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I just like I like the retail end of selling art too. Like I also sell a lot of my stuff on like eBay and Etsy, and it just gets more views because there's actually like a search bar, so people can search for stuff than just like finding your website.
Yeah.
Um, and like I just love like shipping products and making sure everything like ships quickly and having good customer service and getting good reviews, and um
Mhm.
yeah, like I would just love to own my own gallery, but I got to win the lottery first because it's so expensive. God.
It is. But there is that online model. Like a lot of galleries are kind of taking it
Right.
to like I know Poetic Tiger does that.
Yep.
Um I've seen hybrid models too,
Mhm.
where they'll have a show and then they'll only have like some pieces in person, but most of the pieces are online. Like
Yep.
everything's online.
Like the
Um
Wow Gallery does that too. I think they're the ones that.
Wow does that. And there was another little one. I don't remember. I think they're in Philadelphia too.
Oh,
Era.
okay.
Yeah, Era does that. Yeah, but for me, whenever it's like a shipping thing, I really have to count the cost because
It's a lot.
it's a lot. And I'm finding that I don't know if it's that the gallery's not filling out the appropriate paperwork or people just don't know, but
Yeah.
I always get dinged when things come back to me.
Yeah, see, that's,
So
you
that's
know,
a real bummer.
that's an issue I have as well, which is why I would love to own my own gallery because like I take that stuff very seriously, like especially when I pack original paintings and prints, like that stuff's not getting damaged when I'm doing it, And
Mhm,
so,
yeah.
I have noticed that with some galleries where there was, and I'm not naming names, but
Mhm.
I got one painting back and it was so poorly packaged where like and it was a pretty delicate frame and I'm like I can't believe this didn't break. It didn't break. Um
Wow.
but I
I
was
have gotten one back and it was a brand new frame and it was so poorly packed. It's all shooken apart
Yep.
and
And
so I
like
have
to
to
me
repair it.
that's not acceptable. Like I pride myself on professionalism and customer service and
Mhm.
like I don't know, if I were running a gallery I would make sure all of that stuff is like
Mhm.
top tier priority. Like,
And I think when it happened to me, I assumed it was me. Like, I assumed I didn't pack it properly because it
yeah.
was one of the first bigger pieces I had done and sent.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I probably just didn't do it right. Um, and then I heard from other people that they had the same experience from the same place. And I was like, oh, maybe. And and two, if you see somebody who's like doesn't know what they're doing, you
Yeah.
know, maybe educate them and,
People get
give them the
so
benefit of
people
the
get
doubt.
so defensive, which is why like I never bring it up because I don't want to get yelled at or any of that. So I'm just like I'm
Mhm.
just not gonna I just won't show it them again, I guess, which sucks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, which sucks, but it's like that cost me money, you
yeah.
know? I
And like
spent
what if they're
money
saying
on the framing, I spent money on the shipping to and
yeah.
from.
Yep.
Like, that's probably $150 just in shipping and
Oh yeah.
framing, and
Yep.
I get none of it back.
Nope. And
No one reimburses me.
they could sell your painting and they're shipping it that way to those customers. And
And
that
they're still
that makes
taking
you look bad.
50%,
Yep. Oh
right?
yeah. Oh God.
Like, they're still taking half of the profit.
And
So
nobody like patrons don't know that. Like every person I've talked to that I've said that galleries take 50%, they're like they're mind blown. They're like, I can't believe this.
mhm,
But I get it. Like they have to pay
mhm.
rents for their space and everything is expensive. It's just
I
it's hard.
get it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, their
It's just
business model is way better than ours.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
way better than ours
Yep.
because you're
They have
gonna
a
spend
storefront. I don't. Like
and they have 12, 13, 20 artists in a show maybe.
right.
And so the chances of maybe a third of that selling for them, that's great. They
Right.
didn't invest months of their life into it. They didn't buy supplies. They didn't,
Yeah.
and like I'm not being like rude to galleries. I love galleries. I work
Me
with
too.
galleries all the time.
Yeah.
Um, but if I am investing in you, which
Yeah.
is how I see that, it's a
Yeah.
partnership, and I should know that you know what you're doing,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah.
fill in those gaps where I don't know what I'm doing
Yep.
because I'm not going to be perfect at everything.
Yep. Yep. I definitely agree with that and it should be okay to talk about stuff like this because it's the reality of it, and
Hmm.
nobody's perfect and if
No.
a business is making errors, they should take that with a grain of salt but also just say like, "Okay, thank you for
Hmm.
bringing that to my attention. I'll do this better
Yeah.
next time." That's what I would
And
do.
one of the best bosses I ever had, she's very much like that. I still work for her.
Yeah.
if she makes a mistake, she's like, I am the problem. I
Yeah.
did that. And she takes such full responsibility that makes you feel safe to
Yep.
be like, I made a mistake,
Yeah.
and own it and be like honest. And you know, not that I wouldn't be honest, but I feel like that's hard to do because you always feel like, well, are they gonna be mad at me? Are they gonna? And
Some
she's
people do.
always,
Yeah.
yeah,
Some people
it's,
get very
you
defensive.
made a mistake, and I make a lot of mistakes.
Do.
You know, I'm accident prone. Yeah, I've made some big mistakes.
Yeah. And
But that's humanity.
it
We
is
we do
humanity.
that.
And like another thing I think some I've only really had issues with this with one gallery where like they just don't pay you on time. Or like,
Oh,
what the and
that's like an instant
yeah.
strike you from my list.
And especially like you signed a contract and it states
Mhm,
that you're paying this artist within this time. If you don't do that, you're now in breach of that contract, which like I
mhm,
would I would never sue anybody, but you
mhm.
technically could, and
You
it's like,
could.
yeah.
And it's one thing if they come to you and they're like, "Look, we had this error. We're so very, very sorry. This will never
Right.
happen again. We this happened, whatever." Then and they are communicating. But
Yeah.
when it's just like 3 months later, here you
Oh, they would
go.
do it, yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
they did it all the time, and
Oh, okay. So that's not cool.
yeah. And especially since everything's electronic now, it's like
Hmm.
just send it through Zelle. It gets there
Yeah.
that same instance. Like, you don't
Right.
even need to spend money on sending out checks, just send it through
Hmm.
Zelle. There's literally, as soon as you
Yeah.
get that money, it should be like within that week that you pay that artist. That's what I would do.
Exactly. And like I worked with this one gallery, they're a new gallery actually in Ventura, LA. Oh,
Ooh,
so yeah. And shoot, I forget what they're
I, I love
Evolved, I
LA.
think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Evolved Gallery.
Yeah.
And Christine there, the curator, she paid me right away for a
Yeah.
piece that sold. And then when she was getting ready to send, because I had one piece that sold, one piece that stayed. She was getting ready to send it back. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't pay you." And I could have just let her pay me again. Like I could have
Oh,
been an
yeah.
asshole. And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, dude, you paid me.
Yeah.
Here's the
Here's the
you
receipts.
did it. You're good. Don't
Yeah.
worry." Right? Like there are some amazing gallery
Oh,
curators who
absolutely.
like I've had so I love Quirky Fox too. They're great in
Yeah.
New Zealand. I've corresponded with Vicky and she's so supportive and she'll like counsel you and I've asked her questions like, what if I pivot to this? What if I pivot, like, will that affect my career? And she's like, this is what you should do. And very thoughtful, very care. It's like free
Yeah.
time that she's just giving, and that she doesn't have to do that,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
does. And so when there's galleries like that are really like building up their artists and like really being supportive and clear communicators,
Yes. Send
man,
that
those
email.
people
Send
are
that
gold.
well-written email. That's what I want.
Mhm. And I've worked with some, so in the last little while, I had a nightmare curator that was wonderful until she wasn't,
Yeah.
and would not communicate. Well, what happened here? Like
Yeah.
what's
What changed?
happening?
It's not
And
good.
what changed? And like no communication. And she had told me, I wasn't the first artist she did this to, and
Yeah.
she was telling me, well, this artist did this and I didn't like it and I found it rude. And I remember asking her, well, did you talk to them about that? Like,
Yeah.
did you mention that to them that maybe that's not how to address me? And
Yeah.
she just was like,
It's like, why not?
wouldn't even dignify my question with a response,
Yeah.
just shook her head and was like, you know, like F that person, you know?
You're in
And
the
I was
wrong
like,
business if that's how you want
yeah,
to treat
yeah, it's like,
your client.
okay, this is not professional. This is mean girl. This isn't a business person who's trying to. And so for me, when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah, you're like,
okay."
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, this is not cool. Like, not everybody is taught how, and I don't think anybody is, because I don't have formal education. You did. I was talking to Robert, who is a professor
Right.
of art in Maine, and he said that stuff isn't taught how to talk to a gallery. And I was like, what
No.
are you going to school for?
Yeah, I don't think
You
that was,
know?
yeah, yeah, that wasn't taught. And honestly, like, when I switched over to have my concentration in art history, I did that because the painting teacher at my university was, I hated him. He was horrible. Not going to name names, but he
He wasn't a good dude.
and like he didn't teach, because
Mm,
I wanted to learn how to paint and to do specific
mm.
techniques and all of this stuff. And he would literally just give us a subject and he'd be like, you have this amount of time to do it, go paint. And then he just read his newspaper the entire class. And I'm like, I could
Just
literally,
cash in those checks.
yeah. And I'm like, why am I taking these classes? I could teach myself and do this for free in my house.
Yeah.
And then so that's when I switched over because I didn't want to have to take those classes because then I was just focusing more on art history and writing papers.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, so I was just like, what the hell, man? Like, just do your job. That's all you got. That's all you got
Yeah.
to do. Like,
And there's so it's sad because people I would have loved to do an art degree,
yeah,
but even in the time that now that I'm older and I've considered, well, maybe I should go back, get my BA, get my
yeah,
MA so I can teach in an established kind of sense.
yep.
It's not worth it to me because
I know. I thought
um
to go back and like get my because like I only have a bachelor's, but
mhm. But it's
I
not worth it because it's everything I've heard is like it sounds like they don't teach you anything you need to know to
oh and
actually be a living artist.
yeah and like
Like be alive, be an artist.
yep. And especially with AI now, it's like kids are using that to write their papers, and I'm like, this is unacceptable. I would not allow that shit at all.
Hmm.
You know, I was an adjunct professor at a community college in New Jersey, like way back in the day, and they don't pay like adjuncts get paid like nothing. It's
Nothing.
yeah. But now, like when I was kind of like looking for extra jobs, there's the university I went to, and there's a community college up here. Both of them posted adjunct positions, for art classes, and I was like, oh man, I can do this. This is great. And they require a master's degree now to be an adjunct professor, and I was like, are you on drugs? Because
Yeah.
like you don't get benefits and you get paid minimum wage for and like my
It's
dad was
crazy,
a
hey?
professor for 35 years at the college that I went to, and when I told him that, he was like, are you kidding me with this? Like,
Yeah. It's
what?
crazy. Like I was an entrepreneur since I was in my 20s. And I
Yeah,
went from that, and then when we moved here, I was like, "Well, I'll just get a job. Like, why
yeah,
start another business?"
yeah,
I thought that would be the easier route.
yeah.
I was wrong. Um,
It's
I
so
was looking at
hard.
the job listings, and it's like not like minimum wage here is, I think, $15. $15 Canadian is not $15 American, by the
Right.
way.
And
It's not
$15
even
American still
close.
doesn't get you anywhere either.
No, no, it won't get you anywhere. And I was seeing people required to have a BA or an MA for something they were getting paid $17 an hour for. And
You
I
can't
thought,
even pay off your debt with that.
like, how do I compete with that?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
so,
and it's even hard to just get burger flipping jobs.
yeah. Hmm.
It's insane. Like I've been through so many different jobs in the last few years.
Yeah, I'm having
Um,
a really hard time with that right now.
and I was gonna ask you too, like, I know a lot of people you gotta have something that's paying paying
Yeah.
the rent. So for you, how does that look in your
Well,
world?
right now it's pretty bad. I used to at least have like two or three part-time jobs. But since COVID, that's been very hard because
Yeah.
especially right now, just like nobody has any hours to give anybody. Um, I worked at a music store where we primarily did like instrument lessons, band and orchestra rentals for schools and stuff like that. I worked at that place for like 7 or 8 years. I loved that job. And then during COVID, I kind of stopped. And then um, I recently went back, but right now, because it's not rental season, I only work like 1 day a week because there's just no,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
like there's just no hours. Because they mostly do instrument lessons, and kids are in school all day, so you don't, there doesn't
Mhm.
really need to be a person like another person there. So that's been tough. So like I'm basically just like just being real. I'm like blowing through my savings right now to stay afloat. But
Shoot.
yeah, I'm trying to find something else. It's just it's so hard. It's
It
so
is
hard.
so
Like
hard. It
yeah,
is
there's like
so hard. And
nothing.
like, and
Yeah,
I don't think people like people parents from that boomer generation, they just tell you, well, go and give them a firm handshake, and
not like that
like
anymore.
my mom's not like that. My mom
Yeah,
understands.
yeah. So is
But
my dad.
there's definitely a lot of people that think like that.
Yeah.
And they don't remember when you actually ask them, well, how did you get your job? And they were like,
Just
well,
walked in. They just
out of
walked
high
in.
school,
Yep.
I was there at the right time, the right place, and they
Yep.
gave me a job
Yep.
that you need now like a BA for.
Yep. Yeah, even like you know, Walt Disney had his like top 9 animators that he called his 9 old men. One of them like no art degree, no nothing. He literally worked at the hot dog stand like outside where Walt would go and get his lunch, and he just saw him doodling on napkins and he's like, "You want a job? Here you go."
Yeah.
You can't do that now. Get out of
Can you
here.
imagine?
I know,
Yeah.
and like that's why I hate these like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm like, yeah, I would be able to do that too if I was living in a time where houses only costed like $50,000 and
Hmm.
could walk in with no degree. I'd be on top of the fucking world right now, and it's not
Right?
like that anymore.
No, it's
It's
not. And I was so I was having one of those, yeah, what am I gonna do to make money to feed my family
yep,
kind of moments. And there was this free course that the employment center around here puts on. So I was taking this. It was like a career planning
right.
kind of thing. And I was so disappointed because I went through this whole course and the instructor was amazing, but
Oh, good.
and she was and it was just me and her, no one else was there, so it was very personal.
Yeah,
And but I was so disappointed because I did all these quizzes and all these tests and everything, and it came out that I should be a fine artist. And I was like,
I'm like, I
fuck,
already do
dude, are you serious?
that.
Like, this is not. I was like, how
I
can I
did all
adapt
this
my
for you to tell me
skills to
something I
something
already know.
else? Yeah. And I was so frustrated by that. I was like, why I felt like am I fated to just not be able to make money? I
No,
I
I think
wanted I
it's
wanted to like
you
adapt my
know
skills to some other industry, and
I
it's like,
know, but
no.
honestly, I think so many things come down to everything in life. Because so many people are like, "Well, if you work hard, you'll get whatever you want." That is not always the case. It's just not. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. There's so many factors that go into that. But a big thing that I believe in is everything in life is being in the right place at the right time. Um,
Right. And
you
who
know,
you know?
oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
yes, hard work can absolutely it can absolutely get you places, but also when our generation in particular, we have gone through it's so many different changes all the time where like I
Mhm.
feel like at least during the 70s through the 90s were there a lot of changes going on, absolutely, but
Yeah.
that the housing market was kind of didn't fluctuate too much during that time, those generations or decades I should say. And you know I don't know, I just feel like we're changing so much at such a rapid speed. It's like even if I went back and got my master's, that job I'm doing could be obsolete by the time I get out. It's like
Exactly.
you
And
can't
it's
even
so
plan that.
frustrating too, because it's like I look at my parents. My mom was at the same job for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and you had
Your
benefits
They
and
had
all.
benefits, they had all this stuff. Um, I'm sure your parents were similar.
Yep.
And so one of the things in this course, because I feel like I'm a failure all the like
I
whenever I
feel
look
that
at
way
my
all the
life,
time about myself.
because I'm like, I just want one job for 10 years. Like, is that so much to ask?
No.
And one of the stats that came out was that most people in our generation are having to pivot every 4 years or so, like
Yeah.
average around 4 years. And I was like, oh,
How do you plan for
that's
your rest of
insane.
your life? Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair. And it's like, um, I feel very fortunate because um, when I've had health issues, a lot of it is not all of it, but a lot of it is covered
Right.
by um, our taxes,
Right.
essentially.
So it
People
should
always
be.
say it's free. It's not free,
Oh yeah, no,
guys.
but
We're
it's
we pay
you
insane
pay
amount of
into.
taxes
Yeah.
for a very antiquated system. And I
Right.
found this out the hard way. I was in my early 20s when I had my first pregnancy, and I got sent down to the States.
Right.
And so my baby was in like a really high NICU, like a very, very uh, most critical care.
Yeah.
And I got to meet other people because we were in the States. We got sent to the States.
Yeah.
And I got to meet other people who were in that same situation. And this one lady, we're talking in the elevator, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, well, I'm praying for my little guy. We've remortgaged our house,
Oh my
so
god.
hopefully we can, pay for this, and he has a place to live." Like, and for me, it's like mind blowing. But
I know.
to think about like how disruptive it must be for your life, having cancer twice,
I know.
and
And it's
serious
gonna. Yeah.
cancer.
Like.
It's
Yeah.
not just like skin cancer,
Mm.
and not to diminish skin cancer, but
Right.
the kind of cancers you survived were harrowing
Yes.
and very disruptive to your life. And
Absolutely.
then financial level, like to come back from a bankruptcy,
Oh,
say
I
like
know.
this couple was talking about going bankrupt, and they were an older couple, like
Yeah.
she looked like she was in her 40s, and I just thought, oh,
I
this
know.
is I was going through it, and I was looking at her, and I was like,
It's
"I'm
so.
okay though, because this hundreds and hundreds of thousands of treatment, my government is paying it
Yep.
for me
Yep.
because they can't apparently use that money to build better hospitals." But whatever, as long as they're paying for it,
I
that's
know.
their
And
business.
honestly, like
But
I thankfully didn't have to like like financially I was okay. Thank goodness because and like this is another game I have to play, which is so stressful. Which also is hard for me to look for other work because if you make too much money, then I won't be able to stay on the health insurance that I have. So
that's such a horrible thing.
I know. So like, we
Yeah.
have, you can get private insurance or with the Affordable Care Act, you can go through that and usually get some discounts, but I don't think those even much exist anymore because the subsidies weren't extended. Um, but
Mm.
I have there's Medicare, which is for like senior citizens, which is I think some of it you have to pay for, but some of it is free. And then there's Medicaid, which are it's state by state, which which the government pays for, and that's for people with like disabilities or like very low income people.
Right.
So, and it is the best insurance anybody can get, because
Hmm.
I've had people tell me they're like, well, Abby, why don't you just go find a really good job that has good health insurance and you won't have to worry about this? And I'm like, because I'm going to tell you right now, the government insurance I have is better than that CEO that's making so much money a year because even with, not always, but even with insurance where your company covers it, you still have to pay something a month.
Yeah.
And and there's a deductible. So like you're still
Hmm.
paying for shit. And that insurance might not even cover all of the things that you need. My insurance covers everything. I
Mm.
I haven't paid. I've paid for nothing. I've paid for
Oh,
nothing.
good.
The most
That's good.
expensive thing I've paid for is like the copay for my MRI that I have to get once a year is $2. That's it.
Oh, well,
Yep.
that's amazing.
I
I
know.
mean, a friend of mine, and so one of the biggest issues in Canada is wait lists.
Right. That's a big
That's a
thing.
big problem
Yeah.
here because it's just bureaucracy, right? Instead of
Absolutely.
putting the money into the hospital infrastructure, they
Yeah.
spend it in very irresponsible ways.
Yeah.
And anyways, that's the government for you.
Yep.
Um, and so we don't have the infrastructure to handle the amount of serious issues that need to
Yeah.
be dealt with MRI, etc. So if it's an
Yeah.
emergency and you're in the emergency room and you're dying,
Yeah.
you can get help. But
Right.
my friend, she didn't know what was going on, but her back was just destroyed. She can't move, she can't
Ugh.
walk. She's like, I don't know what happened. She went on a wait list, but the wait list is so long. Like I want to say her MRI was in like 2028.
Oh my God. No, no, no. You need that now.
Like it was insane. It was
uh,
insane. And like she she's a tattoo artist, and
yeah.
so she's self-employed.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't like you basically don't count in
Oh.
that situation, right? Because yeah, it's just it's horrible here. If you're self-employed, and maybe it's the same in the States, you're at such a disadvantage,
Yeah.
um, unfortunately. And so she had a friend pay for a private MRI, which is actually I think you can only do that in Alberta. I don't think you can do that in a lot of the other provinces because
Okay.
it's seen as like a violation of the law,
Okay. Okay.
having the ability to pay for something privately.
That's really stupid.
It is stupid. It is
America loves
stupid.
that. They want you to
Yeah,
pay things privately.
right? And so a lot of people who need really like important and life-saving interventions will go down to the States,
Right.
pay the money, and be able to be alive,
Yeah.
basically. You
Yeah.
know,
And that's
um,
scary. It's so
it's
scary.
terrible. It really is terrible, and it's something you can't opt out of paying for taxes, right?
Yep.
And there's only a very small margin of people that fall into that category where they're so ill,
Yeah.
right? And so the majority of people don't care. They don't care
Oh no. And
because
they have
and they're
no
not
idea
gonna
what it's like until
they
it
have no
happens to
idea.
them. Yeah.
Exactly, until
Um,
they need that, like, life-saving care, and
yeah.
so anyways, she paid for I think she paid $750 for an
Oh,
MRI.
that's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, so that was I mean, that was good at least. I don't know how much
That's
MRIs
oh,
go for.
I mean, I've seen, and I don't understand why it's this much money, but the one I have to get, because I have a really rare genetic disorder called Lee-Fraumeni syndrome. My mom had it, and it's basically like, in a nutshell, you're at a lifetime high risk of developing like several cancers forever. You're just going to get cancer forever until one of them gets you. And
Oh, no.
my mom had it, and thankfully, because it was, medical research was much better at the time, she lived to be 71.
Wow.
Her mother died of it in the
Mm.
50s. Like nobody knew how to do it back then,
No.
but yeah, I think she died at like 37, very young.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like my mom battled, and like this is not an exaggeration, she battled cancer at least like 15 to 16 times.
Wow.
And even just by like looking at her, you would never know.
Mm,
And um uh my MRIs that I see, so like I have to get surveillance all the time because I'm at such a high risk of developing cancers than a normal person is. So
mhm,
um, I have to get like full body MRIs and brain MRIs once a year, and I can see the billing in my
mhm.
hospital, like online chart, and I think the MRI was like $33,000.
Wow.
Who can afford that?
Who
Nobody.
can afford that? I know,
You know.
even just, like, um, so back to my experience in Seattle there, we were driven, me and my baby, and she was in like one of those hooded, like what I forget what they're called, but NICU baby kind of
Right.
beds.
Yep.
And they had like a specialty team in the ambulance drive like 15 minutes to the airport. Well, I got the bill in Canada and I was like, why am I getting this bill? Um, and I don't know who to go to with it, right?
Yeah.
It was for that 15 minutes, I want to say it was like $1,500.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Um,
Ugh.
it was nuts. And I think that the team that was there, they were a Canadian paramedic team that specialized in transporting like
Right.
NICU babies. So I was just paying for the paramedic that was driving the ambulance.
It's like you could have driven yourself.
I
Like,
know.
oh my
Like, it was
god.
so insane, and
Oh,
then, and so, yeah, I'm getting this bill, I'm like, "I don't know what to do with this."
I
I'm
know.
20 something, I'm dealing with a very sick child, like, it
Yep.
wasn't you take home a baby like that, um, and that first 5 years is terrifying.
Right.
Um, and it's very, very similar to, like, oncology, right, where that never really dissipates. It
Nope.
kind of it's like a lifelong thing. But yeah, I had to go to my member of parliament and
Oh
say, "I
god.
don't know what to do with this."
Yeah.
And they paid for it, but
Oh my god. See,
by the
that's
time
amazing.
it was $2,000 or something with all the interest by the time they
Woo.
paid it. And I was like, "Well,
Thanks,
I don't know, like, I don't
Parliament.
know why they're billing me," like,
Yeah.
but that's on you guys. And when I was there, I asked, "How often do you guys in this hospital
Yeah.
get, people from Canada?" And she's like, "Well, we probably get about 12 patients a year." And
Oh,
so you're
wow.
averaging well over $100,000 for each person.
That's
And
crazy.
all of that could stay in Canada if they just used our money better, which
Yeah.
it's sad. So it's like I think it's really interesting to have people who have experienced both things
Right.
get together and talk because this is just most people don't hear about it.
No.
Um, but how much do you think this watching your mother struggle,
Yeah.
um, has this really informed and like all of your struggles? Is this where the fascination with the macabre kind of came from?
I don't think so. I've always liked like my parents never really let me watch like horror movies when I was little. I mean, I would do it anyway at like friends' houses, but but I've always liked just Halloween and dark things and um not, maybe that came from watching The Secret of Nim when I was little because that movie was like dark as
It's
fuck for
fire.
little kids.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean like you know, it didn't initially start out when I was when I started doing the mythology paintings. The first one I did was that Swamp Witch painting in 2018. Using myself as a model, I think, came from mostly just the convenience of like I don't have to pay a model or work around their schedule. I'm always available. I can just take reference
Yeah.
photos of myself. It was just easier at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and because I had breast cancer in 2017, I have certain scars and certain parts are missing and so I was like I wanted to be as realistic as possible when painting myself, so I just painted myself like that. And I think it just
Mhm.
confused people at first, and I don't know if they understood like that this was breast cancer related, but it really wasn't meant to be that way at first. But then it kind of evolved into that where I tried painting like mythological figures, but making them female and just showing like a strong female warrior or something like that that had cancer survivor references, I guess. But yeah, so I guess it kind of that element came a little bit later, but
Yeah.
I like that it evolved into that. I think it's nice.
And it tells so much about your story, like,
Yeah,
and I'm very passionate too about like mythologic mythologis
it's okay. I do that all the time.
mythologicizing. I don't know
Yes.
what the
Hey,
word
it's a
is.
word now. It's a word
It
now.
is now. I said it, coined it.
Yeah.
Um, the everyday person, because I
Yeah.
feel like we as people we feel like our stories are so small and
Yeah.
our lives are so small and
I feel
nobody
like that
really
all the
cares.
time.
But you're going through these hard things
Yeah.
and when you read mythology and they're doing all these grand things that were based a lot of them were based on actual people that
Yep.
lived. You're
Hmm.
like, well, I'm sure they didn't actually turn into a spider, but
Yeah. But it
it's
would be cool
symbolic
if you
of
did.
something, right? Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's symbolic of how this thing must have shaped them, right?
Yep.
So,
I agree.
yeah.
Um, and I actually really want to. I'm trying to write like a book about my last cancer experience, with the ovarian cancer, because it was just, you know, my family was there for it, and my boyfriend was there for it, but I didn't really go into a lot of detail because I'm just a private person. Like, like I've seen some people, and this is not me throwing shade. People, whatever people have to do to get by, that's great. But like,
Hmm.
I've seen people going through chemo or in the hospital, and they take photos of themselves and they post all this positive stuff. That's great. I'm not that person.
Hmm.
I was so sick on chemotherapy. I had to go through so many surgeries. I was in the like in and out of the ER with even problems with my kidney went septic, and it was just like, I'm not sharing this information with people because I don't want to
Yeah.
post pictures of myself with no hair and looking sick all
Yeah.
the time. And it was very depressing. Um, you know, I give people credit for being positive when things are bad, but I am not that way. Like, that was the lowest point of my life, and it was hard to find positivity because it was a horrible situation. Like, there's nothing positive
Yeah.
about it. And
Absolutely.
so yeah, like I would love to finish this book about, and I'll probably talk about the breast cancer stuff too, but that cancer was cake compared to the ovarian cancer.
I
Um,
bet.
so like just stuff that I want to actually like talk about and share with people, and just so that it can help maybe women that are afraid to talk about this stuff, and how, like medical research and care for women is very not studied as much as it should be.
Yeah.
And it people need to be able to talk about these things and to navigate the healthcare system and how to go about it the right way. Like, the reason why my mom lived so long is because she was really proactive about living long, and that's why I work so hard to stay on this health insurance, because I am so afraid to not be on it and have to worry about, I'm not going to be able to afford private insurance. And I think also writing this book might help too with the Trump administration next year. It's going to be really hard because they, in that big bullshit bill that they wrote last year, there's going to be all these changes to Medicaid. There's going to be work requirements now. If you don't fulfill those, you get kicked off immediately. Every state is getting funding cuts to Medicaid, which affects everyone with either government insurance or private insurance, because hospitals can close. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Mm.
So like, this is now another obstacle that I have to face with, like, living with this is hard enough.
Yeah.
But now I have to worry about, you know, what if I can't find another job and I can't meet those work requirements, then I won't have health insurance. Um,
Yeah. And
it's
that's not,
it's
it's
scary.
not, that's
It's
not
not
very,
okay.
it's not
Like,
okay.
no.
And that's not something you can control. You can't control
Yeah, I
what
didn't
work
ask
you
to
get
be
employed
here.
for.
Yeah, or like,
Yeah.
like, what if I do find a great job, but then out of nowhere your boss just cuts everyone's hours at the end of the month?
Hmm.
Well, you're
Hmm.
fucked, I guess. So good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, it's not something you can really control, unfortunately.
yeah.
And um, I I know that just to pivot again, I experienced a lot of people saying very trite things that I still think about, and for whatever reason, like the negative things stick with you more.
Yeah.
Did you ever get people who were like, "You just need to believe
Oh,
more. You
all
just
the
need
time.
to
All the time.
like
All the time.
mind over matter."
Yep.
And
That's what I define as toxic positivity, because people,
mhm,
you know, like, or, people love to say like, "Oh, like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger." It's like, it doesn't though always, because in
no,
in my scenario, it like damaged my body to points where I can't get those things back, and my body's weaker than it was. That's not making me stronger. This is like, I don't need, or people, they're like, "Oh, like, going through this makes you a better person." It's like, no, it doesn't. It's made me way more depressed and just negative, because it's
mhm.
like,
It's the
nobody.
ultimate victim blaming.
Oh yeah, and it's like,
Mhm,
I don't need to go through these things to know that I'm a strong person. Nobody should. Nobody should have to go through these things ever.
mhm,
Um, or like, people think, people that are religious, I'm not religious, but like people are like, oh, God makes certain people go through these things because he knows they can handle it. I'm like, do you know how horrible that is to say to somebody? Like, you don't say things like that to people that are suffering and going through things that are out of anybody's control. That's horrible.
Yeah, and too, like, when you go through something like that, and people will say, well, if they did this, then you would
Oh,
have had a better outcome, or
yeah.
if
No.
they did that, or if you just believed harder,
Yeah.
this would have happened, or you must have done something wrong
Yep.
to
Yep. People do
to
that.
get that.
People
I
do that.
had I had people say that. I had people in my family say that.
That's horrible.
And it was just like, I
And
can't
it's,
deal with this
yep,
right now. Like, I just, yeah, went through all this stuff, and you're just telling me it's my fault,
it's
you
not.
know?
Yeah. And it
It's
absolutely
so
is not.
destructive.
Yeah. It's like, yes, in some scenarios, it's like, yes, if you're a heavy smoker your entire life and you get lung
Hmm.
cancer, yeah, you probably did that. But
Hmm.
that's still not okay to shame that person for doing that. Um,
No, and there's plenty of people that smoke their whole lives
and they're
and don't
fine.
get
I
cancer.
know.
You know?
Crazy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and like I think people just don't realize that, especially with cancer and certain health issues, like a lot of things are genetic.
Hmm.
I can be the healthiest person on the planet, I'm still going to get cancer again, and it's going to be several times, several times. And yes, being healthy helps, obviously, to avoid
Hmm.
cancers that you could have caused, like like if you smoke, obviously I shouldn't be a smoker and I'm not, so, but yeah, I've had people try to say that, or they, and or they're like, "Oh, you probably got cancer from eating this," and I'm like, It's, you're not a scientist, you're not a oncologist. Stop giving advice on things that you know nothing about." Like,
Yeah. And I
yeah,
mean, even in that way, it's like they don't know very much about what causes cancer, you
they
know?
don't,
And
and all cancers, like anybody. I mostly try to not talk to people about it because they just nobody knows what they're talking about. Even I don't, for the most part.
Mhm,
Like I just know from what I've experienced and what I've learned from like my
mhm,
care professionals. But anybody that says, oh, like why haven't we found a cure for cancer? They must be hiding it. It's like because cancer is not one thing. Like all
mm,
cancers are different. Cancer is hundreds of diseases. Like, you know, the type of lung cancer that my mom has is not the type of lung cancer that somebody else has. So it's like that treatment's not going to work for that cancer. It's just like it's a very
very
very,
complex.
it is, and we
Mhm,
have made a lot of progress. I mean, like we have vaccines now for HPV, which is great. Which that can help prevent cervical cancer. So it's like we are making great progress, but I feel like that's gonna be hard with this administration. Is gonna They are derailing a lot of funding for cancer research in the NIH, and it's just horrible. Makes me so sad. But
yeah. Yeah, it's tricky when there's all of these external pressures, and then people, and I understand because we as human beings, we wanna, like, fix the person who's in pain,
yep,
right? We wanna make them better or
yeah,
put meaning to it,
right.
and sometimes there is no meaning,
No, things
right?
happen.
Sometimes things, yeah, like, I mean, say you're in a car accident.
Yep,
Was there meaning to that, or are you just
in the wrong place at the wrong.
experiencing,
Yeah,
yeah, experiencing life, right?
yeah,
There's no, and I think that's really hard when you get sick. Um, people want to people want to do that for you, and it's like, I don't need that. I just
yeah.
need you to, like, cry
Be there.
with me.
Yeah, and
You know?
and that's something that I always advocate for as well. With like, you know, anytime I see, like I said, this is fine, but it's just not the way that I do it. Where like everybody's just so overly positive, and they're like, oh well, I got through because of this. But I'm like, I think it's also okay to not. It's okay to not be okay. Like it's okay to
Mhm.
be depressed and upset and feeling the things you feel because it's not a good situation. And it's okay to be honest about that. I think like you're allowed to struggle and you're allowed to show other people that you're struggling because that doesn't diminish what you're going through.
No, it doesn't. And it's even like the employment thing. And I've experienced this a lot in
Yeah.
the last 3 years where, um, and I've almost, I almost feel like I'm doing it, like, oh, maybe I jinxed this
Yeah.
and I lost this. And there's so much research about like consciousness now where your
Yeah.
belief like makes things happen. And so there's this almost this feeling of like, oh, I made this happen because I was afraid I'd get fired and then I'd,
Right.
not even fired. I haven't actually been fired. It's been more like the economy was garbage.
Right.
And
And that's totally out of everybody's
yeah,
control. That's out of every.
exactly. Well, it's in some people's control. It's not in my
Yeah,
control.
exactly. Not ours, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately not. And yeah, so then you almost feel like, oh, is this like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Did my belief like make this happen? And because I too have like I have an autoimmune thing. So then
Yeah.
I've experienced that on that level too. And
Yeah.
autoimmune is very similar to what you're talking about, being
Right.
having like a genetic cancer
Yeah. It's out of
related thing.
control. Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's just
No.
something you're born with a lot of times, and
Yeah. You have to deal with it.
you have to deal with it. And it's so destructive when people tell you that you didn't believe hard enough because
Yeah.
there's no way to
I'm
quantify
yeah.
belief.
Yeah, and like what reality are you in where that happens? And I don't know, I feel like some people just because things have worked out well for them, they just think that, well,
Mhm.
just because it worked out for me, it should be working for you too. It's like, no, like, yeah, only you can change your situation, but you need resources for that. You need financial stability for that. Like the economy needs to be better, and there's so many factors that hinder on making
And
your
like
life better.
those people that feel that need to say that, they could be that support that you need even just emotionally,
Right.
but they don't realize they're doing it either. Like they choose to turn it on you in a way.
Yeah.
And it becomes very much like you feel like it's you. You feel
Yep.
like you are the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. It's horrible, and like, and I remember one of the times I was in the hospital for the chemo. And this was a nurse. A nurse said this to me. She actually,
Doctors and nurses, they've said the most ignorant things to me.
I know, and like, and this was actually like a nurse that I knew, like
Mm,
from a friend, but I don't, like, and I don't think she meant anything by it, but when she found out that I had ovarian cancer, she was like, "Oh, well, I bet it was caused by, probably because you took birth control. I bet that's where it came from." And I was like, "I've never taken birth control in my life. Why are you telling this to patients?" And that's not even true. That's
yeah,
not even true. Like,
no,
go
it's
back
so
and get the degree
destructive.
again. Yeah, it's
It's so
horrible.
destructive and it's so demoralizing. And like, I feel like there's so much like those things stay with you so
Oh
much
yeah.
more
Yep.
and become like a almost like a problem that you have to it's almost like a lie that
Right.
you have to like no, that's not true all the time and be
Yep.
like it's not my fault.
No.
Like I didn't cause that. I
Nope.
didn't, and that's it's really hard too,
It
especially
is.
if you're like I know and I've spoken to a lot of artists about this like artists tend to I don't know if this is the case for you, but artists tend to have a different like way of thinking. I
I
mean,
I
people
think
call
so.
it
Yeah.
neurodivergent,
Yeah.
and there's yes, and I think it's just like the creative brain is just built different
Yes.
than other brains,
Yeah.
and so when people say that, it's sometimes you don't even recognize how it's affecting you,
Right.
and yeah, I don't know. Has that been an issue for you?
I mean, I think it definitely makes me think about things more in a way that probably a normal person doesn't think about things. Like, I don't know, how people say they're like artists or writers and are, tend to be more depressed, or it's like
Mhm.
it's because I think we look at things more in a realistic way than just, I don't know. Probably so.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of research coming out that like we feel things deeper. You
Yeah,
know, think about things deeper and
yep,
hold on to things in a different way than other people.
yep.
Um, and I feel like that gets stored in your body too,
It
right?
does
Hmm.
absolutely. And I feel like uh people that are religious too, where it's like they have religion to fall back on as a comfort, to say like, oh well, because most people that I know that are Christian, think that everything happens for a reason, so it's okay. Or like, you know,
Mm,
if a family member dies, it's so devastating and sad, but I'll see them again. It's okay, And it's like I don't feel those things. I don't believe in those things, and I don't think those things. So it's like
mm,
it's it's not comforting to think about. It's like, well, we're all probably going to die someday, and it's going to be
mhm,
lights out, and that's it. So it's just you just don't have those. I don't know. It's like a harsher view of reality, but it is reality, and it can be harder, but I think it's a better place to be in, than maybe not. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I
whatever
mean,
works
I've
best
heard,
for
I wouldn't
you.
say like I'm religious, but
Yeah.
I do believe there is life after death. I do
Yeah.
believe there is something greater, something more.
I
Um,
would I would love for
yeah.
that to be the case, and I hope that that's the
Mhm.
case.
And I mean, there's no evidence that there's not, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
we're such a especially the age that we come from,
Yeah.
we're such a materialist. We have
Right.
such materialist view.
Yeah.
And the more that science progresses, especially into quantum physics, quantum mechanics,
Right.
um, we're finding that that materialist view is
Yeah.
it's kind of a shallow view
Right.
of our existence.
Yeah.
Um, I think I heard some scientist, I can't remember. He was like, I can't remember what he was. He was like, he had something to do with astro, whatever he was, but he
Like
was talking about
astrophysics, probably. Yeah.
astrophysics, something, yeah, one of these like very lofty things. And he was saying the more that we discover, the more it looks like the universe is just a dream. God is just dreaming us up.
Yeah.
And I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that there is, you know, maybe everything does happen for a reason. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm I'm open.
Yeah.
I'm open
Oh
to it,
yeah.
right? Like
Absolutely.
and I think like that the mythology and that wonder and the supernatural
Right.
are something I've just always found so fascinating.
Oh yeah, me
Uh,
too. Me too. I love like religious history, and and it's like that's why I love the Renaissance period so much too. It's so fascinating
mhm,
to read all about that and all of those paintings, and oh man, just
mhm.
beautiful.
They are beautiful.
They are.
Yeah, and there's something like there's something very healing about looking at art,
Yes.
but there's a whole different level when you're making art. And
Yeah.
do you feel like so when you make your work, is it from do you make it while you're in the thick of your illnesses, or do you feel like you make it out of a place of wellness?
Honestly, I think I do my best pieces when I'm happy and doing well. Like mentally well, and physically well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've met some artists that, and I hate this outlook, but like they truly only believe they're like only good artists make their art out of struggle and pain. And I'm like, no, that's not true.
It's not true.
Um, when I'm struggling and in pain, I'm laying on the couch and being depressed.
Yeah,
Like I, you know,
absolutely. I think
and
that
yeah,
whole what was
yeah.
her name? Uh the lady that was sick and she did all the surrealist paintings. I always forget her name.
Oh,
It's F
Frida,
some
Frida,
Frida.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Oh
that
gosh,
comes from that.
she went through the ringer. Which is fine. Yes, like
Hmm.
beautiful, beautiful artwork comes from struggles and pain. I mean, I think I've definitely have made some pieces like that. It's just when I'm not feeling mentally well, it's not enjoyable. Like I love having a good day when I'm happy and things are going well and you sit down and work on stuff, and that's a great time. That's the time I want to have. I want to have a nice
Mhm.
positive I want to have a nice positive time while I'm painting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find though that when I do go through hard things, I feel like that problem solving part of my brain kind of kicks in.
Yeah.
And so like that's been interesting, like
Yeah.
seeing, yeah, like I'll see a way through something that I couldn't see before,
Yeah.
but
I like
that's not when I make work,
yeah.
which is weird.
Yes. Yeah, like even when I was on chemo, I wasn't able to work on anything because I was so sick. And that was like months, and it was the light at the tunnel for me was obviously being alive, but it was also like I can't wait for things to just get back to normal so I can paint again.
Yeah.
I like that's what I strive for when I'm going through these like horrible things. And like I just want to get back to, or at least whatever the new normal is going to be,
Yeah.
of my life,
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so do you have like, do you, you said you mostly work in your apartment.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a certain amount of time that you devote every day to your work?
Yeah, so especially now I have a lot of time because I cannot find another job. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll change once I get more work. But I try to do, at least with painting, like if I'm shipping orders, that's that that can vary from like an hour to a couple hours depending on what it entails, but or like framing, but like actual painting, I feel like minimum is like 5 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours a day. And like when I'm really on a roll, it'll go past 8 hours, but that's my body just can't. I can't sit very long like that anymore. Like
No.
if I'm in the zone and it's going well and I'm like, I don't want to stop because I'm not going to get this back tomorrow, I'll just push through it and keep going. But um yeah, I
I
try
find
to
I tap out. I tap out at 4 hours.
yeah.
I feel
Yeah, I
like
do
after
start getting
four,
really tired at 4 hours as well.
yeah, I feel like after 4 hours, it doesn't get better. Like I
Yeah.
don't make it better.
Yeah, I've had some instances where I'm going like 8 hours and I'm like, "This is great." How is like it's like magic is coming out of your hands, but it doesn't happen very often, but
No.
um those days feel really good, but they're very seldom. Like they don't
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
That's a marathon,
Yeah.
I feel
It
like.
is a marathon. That's a lot of caffeine. That's
That's
a
a lot of
your caffeine day if I'm doing that.
I bet. Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. It was comforting actually. I did a little kind of like a Patreon membership with Ali Kavanaugh at one point.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
she's an excellent um person to learn under.
Yeah.
Very generous with her time and her advice.
I love that.
And she gave a breakdown of her day,
Yeah.
and she said she taps out at 4 hours. And I was like, oh,
Seems to be
okay.
the norm, I guess.
Yeah. I was like, okay, no, that's good to know, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's
when
a
I was
lot
doing
on
my
your
tat
body. Yeah.
it is, yeah. When I was doing the tattoo apprenticeship, you'd see people like artists sitting for like 10
I can
hours. Like,
and
and I
that's like
don't,
you cannot screw that up.
you
You
cannot, you
cannot
cannot
screw that
redo
up.
things.
Yeah.
And I just like that's so hard.
It is. I I commend people who do that because whew, and I've even had people tell
Yeah.
me that, they're like, people that don't realize that all art mediums are different, and I've had people, they're like, why don't you just be a tattoo artist? I'm like, because it's a completely different, working on
It's
skin
so different.
is a completely different thing than working on an easel. Like it's not, it's a, just because you're good at painting doesn't mean, I don't think I would be good at tattooing because it's too, I have a hard time doing straight lines drawing.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
That's where I struggled was line work. I really did not take easily to that kind
Yeah.
of work. But one thing that is interesting, and you probably like after you kind of get over that hump of learning the initial skill,
Yeah.
layering ink. is the same as layering oil paints.
Oh God. That's like that
Yeah.
blows my mind, honestly.
Right? I know. And that was like my biggest curiosity when I first started mentoring. I was like, "Hey, just like break down how this works for me because how is the workflow? Because watercolor, you go opposite to oils.
Right.
Acrylic, it doesn't matter. Acrylic is stupid. We don't
Yeah.
talk about
Acrylic is
acrylic.
stupid. I wish I could do it. I
Yeah,
can't.
but I can't, and I don't like it, and
Yep.
whatever, screw acrylic. And then oils, oils, it's dark to light.
Yep.
And so that was the first thing. And I remember like asking the artist I was apprenticing with, like, okay, so how does this work?
Yeah.
Like, how does this work? How does this work? How do you layer in color? And just watching them work, I was like, this is exactly like oil painting. And they weren't an oil painter, so they were like, like I think we were kind of having a communication barrier there at first, but
Yeah.
I watched them work for a while, and I was like, this is exactly the same
Yeah.
as oil painting.
That's crazy.
And you very much work dark to light.
Yeah.
Um, so that was cool, but it's like color realism in tattooing is up here
Oh
and
yeah.
apprenticeship is down here, and you got to master all this before you can do this.
That's got to be
It's
so cool.
very hard to just jump into that.
Yep.
Uh, so it was always like, well, I want the little script tattoo. I want the little, and it's like I can brush in something realistic and it's not amazing maybe, but it looks similar enough to the reference that people are like, "Oh, cool, like, that's what I would do."
Yeah.
But doing the little script stuff, that was the hardest thing for me.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even like if I'm doing pen and ink, I just have
it's
shaky.
yeah,
Yeah. And like even
it's
when
very
I'm
similar.
like if I ever do graphic design, which is usually just I'll do like illustration work, but it's like on my tablet in Photoshop. And I just feel like I'm just notorious for I just cannot get straight lines. Even with all of the technology that's in
Yeah.
Photoshop, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's never 100% straight, but I'm like, it just is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I use Procreate when I do illustration.
You know,
Have you tried it?
no, because I don't have a tablet, or iPad. I don't have an iPad.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about switching to a different program because Photoshop is I've been using it for so long, so I'm used to it, but you can't just buy it anymore. You're like renting it forever. It's
Yeah.
such a
Mhm.
freaking waste of money. And I'm debating like which program, like I've been asking artist friends like what do you use? What do you like best? And but I think
Mhm.
the tough thing is like I want to be able to edit my painting photos still,
Mhm.
and I can do that in Photoshop. So,
And I think it's probably easier in Photoshop. I used old school Photoshop forever.
me too.
Yeah. Back when it was just like a program
Yep.
that you just got.
Yep.
But I use Procreate. And so Procreate on the iPad, yes, the iPad itself is expensive,
Yeah.
but I mean, how much are you going to pay for that prescription over
Oh, heck,
like or
thousands for the
subscription,
rest
I
of my
should say.
life. Yeah.
Prescription. Yeah,
It's
exactly. But so, yeah, I have an iPad. My husband surprised me with it a few years
oh,
back, so that was nice. um, and then to buy Procreate, it's like $14.
oh, that's cheap. Jeez.
Yeah, and I mean, my daughter was able to get an iPad through this program,
Oh, nice.
and so she has one. So my Procreate, I just gave it to her, and
Oh, that's nice.
because you can just share the
Yeah.
app, and then it's very different than Photoshop because it is intuitive. So
Okay.
it's very much like a tactile thing because the iPad is very tactile.
Right.
And so if you want to draw a straight line,
It's
you draw a
pretty
line,
great,
you draw
right?
your wobbly line, you hold it there, and it becomes straight.
See, why doesn't Photoshop have that? Or maybe it does, and I don't know where it is.
I don't know, but I haven't used Adobe stuff in forever.
I feel like I'm
And
doing things the dumb way. I'm doing things the dumb way. I need to get with
and
the times.
I find like if I want to do an illustration in Procreate, um, I can work up a really fast illustration. So like maybe the painting of the same thing would take me an hour. It takes me 20 minutes
Oh wow.
to like just because it's not, you don't have to select and then use the tool as much
Yeah.
as this hand does the motion to get the thing, and
Right.
then this hand does the drawing.
Oh.
Um, it's a bit of a learning curve, but Procreate makes it really, really easy. They've got tons of free tutorials,
Yeah.
and uh, I always tell artists like get Procreate. It's amazing.
I should
Every
try it.
yeah, every tattoo artist I know, that's how they work, and it's my daughter. She learned it super fast. She was like 11, I think,
Oh
when
wow.
we got it for her. She's animating things.
Oh, that's so
Like
cool.
she's becoming quite an incredible little artist, and
I
she's doing a
love
lot of like
that.
realism studies
Yeah.
lately. And I was like, I think you're a better painter than me. Like
Aw.
I keep telling her like, mother can help you market your paintings.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I think it's that trepidation of that social media world, and like, I don't want to put myself out there. I just want to make the work. And it's like,
Yeah.
I know I don't want to put you out there
Yeah,
either.
me too. I hear you.
Yeah, it's like I wish that I could just let you loose into like this kind world where people will just, you did such a good job instead of having so many opinions about what is art and what isn't art and what
I
is
know.
good and what isn't
That's
good.
yeah,
And
like that's another thing that I hate with social media, and I don't really get it too much because I just don't post a lot. And like nobody knows that I'm there, which is fine, but like, everybody thinks they're the art police today. And like I get it. You should be calling out AI. I do it too, but also I've seen people try to call things AI that aren't, and people are like really negative about it. And it's like, dude, like mind your
yeah.
business. Like you
Yep.
don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Just shut up. Just shut
And
up.
I think too, like there's a lot of competitions now
Oh,
where
oh yeah.
they want, because I think it was because of that big ARC scandal, right?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, where now they want to see your pre-sketches. They want to see that you actually put paint on the canvas. They want to see, and I mean that's great, but not everybody, like yourself, not everybody is documenting every part of the process.
Yeah.
And um
I've
and
had
I
some people tell me that, and I'm just like, no. And they're like, well, how are we going to know? I'm like, because I've been doing this probably before you were born, and I don't need to prove anything to you, because the only people that need to see all of those things are the person that's commissioning me for that piece.
right.
They will have
Yeah.
all of that information, but like that's the thing that's annoying about social media is like people demand that you have to show them
Hmm.
something. And I'm like, you don't even follow me. I owe you nothing. I owe you
Yeah.
abso-fucking
Hmm.
because I could care less what you think.
Absolutely. And I think like too, when you talk about social media, it is not geared to people like us who
Yeah, no,
are
absolutely.
creating work the way old masters created work,
Yep. It's
right?
not, yeah. And
No.
even when Instagram came out, it was supposed to be for photos, which is what I want. Like fucking TikTok and Snapchat ruined that with like everything has to be a video now, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't want to make a fucking video. I just don't want to do
Yeah.
it
Well,
because
and I
I
think
I would
it's
rather
like,
be painting because like and that takes up so much time, right? It's like
hmm,
you're wasting time doing all of this stuff when I'm like, I would rather just put that time towards actually painting.
hmm. And there's still artists that do that.
Yeah. I don't know how
There's
they,
still,
they're like magicians that they can do all of that stuff in one day and it looks good. And I'm
well,
like,
I mean, like, I don't mean like that. I mean, like, there are still artists that they just post
oh,
stills. Yeah, and they
right.
or they don't post at all. I've
I
seen
mostly
some
just
artists.
post. I mostly just post photos
Yeah.
because like, oh well, like I don't know.
Yeah. And I like all yeah, all that social media, because it is is not geared to us. It is not geared to work that takes a long time.
Yep.
Um, I think that it's so important that you enjoy whatever you put out there.
I agree.
Yeah, like it's and that's why I was thinking, well, I had this comment on my YouTube channel before I started this up again, and this person was like, "It's been 3 years. Are you still alive? Like, where are you? Why don't you make
Yeah,
any
I've had
content?"
I've had people say that to me too, and I'm like,
Mhm.
and like, some of them follow me on Instagram, and I'm like, you can go to my page, it's right there. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah,
But
I'm
it got
still
me
alive.
thinking, like, yeah, I am still alive. And I just don't enjoy editing. That was the biggest one for
Oh,
me.
that's
I
a big,
just don't enjoy it.
yeah.
Um, and I thought, well, okay, yeah. And when I started this a few months back, I was in a very low place. I'm like, what do I need?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, very much this is just like about me and you. And like, and
Yeah.
if other people get something out of it, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but like I just I followed your work for a while and I feel like you have such an incredible story. Um, yeah, and I feel like your work does come out of all of this all of this slog that you've had.
Yeah.
And if we were in Grecian times, I feel like there would be a mythology about this woman who faced down death a couple of times and
Yeah. Oh, I would love
like right? So it's like your story matters and
that makes me
hopefully
happy.
hopefully this is kind of just like a celebration of you and not just me yammering.
No,
But
absolutely no.
yeah,
It's two people connecting and talking about whatever we want to talk about, and that's
absolutely.
what I
Yeah,
love. That's how it should be.
totally. Yeah, and you know, I think that when people look back at this era of art, I always wonder what they'll see. And I hope that what they see is that there were these artists that just really were fans of each other,
Yeah,
you know?
community. Like that.
Yeah.
We all know, like we're all in the same headspace of traditionality. Is that a word?
Mhm.
Like,
It is now.
it is now. um, and I like that because I'm even just so sick of seeing on social media when people post real art. I'm seeing in comments people are like, "Oh, it's such a breath of fresh air to see real art, not AI." And I'm like, "You're acting like generative AI has only been around for like 3 years or whatever it
Yeah.
is." It's like people are acting like art just like wasn't being posted before, and I'm like, dude, like I've been posting on Instagram since like 2013 or whatever it was, and it's like,
Wow.
where were you then? Like you weren't there making comments then, but now people are just acting like,
Mhm.
you know, like I get AI is taking over, but there's still way more real art out there that people can be experiencing and viewing.
And if people love it, it's like put a ring on it, if
Yeah.
you love it,
Go
like
buy it. Go buy a print. Go buy
go
something.
buy it. Go, yeah, go support this person. Buy them a coffee. I don't know, like figure it out
Yeah.
because we're only going to keep surviving
Yep.
if people are supporting us, right?
Agree.
And very much like for your situation where it's very health related, it's very, you know, um what is the best way for people to support you in your journey?
Um, buying things would be nice, but also like, I would love to get more followers, like not for the vanity of it, because I could care less about that, but like more eyeballs means more customers and just more people to share the work with, which I would really like.
Mhm.
And I'm so bad at getting followers. I feel like I've been stagnant. Like I finally, after like a decade, reached like 2,000, and I was like, "Woo, milestone!" you know. Um, but yeah, like just following or commissions. It's like I would just kill to get more commissions right now, and I just can't get any. And like pet portraits, which I know everybody does them, but I really enjoy painting people's pets. It's a very intimate experience, because I love my cat so much, and just getting to like share that moment with somebody who also, loves their little furry buddy.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
get it in your style too, right? Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
hmm Getting
But
an original piece of art, it's like that's the cool thing about oils is it's going to outlive all of us, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I like my big goal in life is to own my own house, which is like so hard and impossible right now, but hopefully someday, but I would just love more space so I can actually like enjoy the art, the original art that I have from other artists, just have it on the wall and be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it really is such a special thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Just wanting
Yeah. Oh,
more.
yes.
I want more art in my
Yep.
life.
And that's why I
And
appreciate people that do buy art. Like my really good friend Jason, he owns, like I said, he owns so many paintings, and you know, that's amazing that people love art so much that they will just buy from so many different artists and just put it in their house, and their entire house is just it's paintings and sketches, and I love seeing that. I love seeing it.
absolutely. And I think too, like they're finding so much more research about how beauty preserves the mind.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
preserves like just yeah, well, like I think we're dealing with a mental health crisis in most places in North
Yes.
America, and I think it's because a lot of those old things have been allocated to a luxury.
Right.
And
Oh yeah.
your mental health is not a luxury.
No.
You
No,
know?
it's not. Like,
Yeah. It's something that you should have to feel whole.
I agree.
Um, and I think too, like our pets, people in our lives,
Yeah.
um, they're once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's yes, it's a bit more money to get an original work of art done, but that oil painting will live with you. Like it
Yeah.
and
Forever.
they have like a different I think that's something people can't get from social media and from photos is how living with a piece of art um it's just different.
It is.
It's totally different seeing them in
Yep.
person.
I agree. I agree. And I always try to be as fair as possible with my prices. I think I'm definitely like way too low with them, but I'm also like I have to make sales. But and like I feel like other people that sometimes I get people that will not complain about the price, but they're like, "Oh, that's so much." And I'm like, "It's
Mhm.
really not because you get that painting forever and that money that you're giving me is going to go right out the window to bills."
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'll get
So
a deposit and I'm like, ah, it's already gone.
yeah.
Like,
Yep, every
I'm
time.
sorry, but yeah, it's like bills and food and all this stuff. And I always feel like, oh, am I charging too much? And then it'll just be gone
Yep.
before I can even spend it. And
And then I see what other people charge and I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, no, I'm very low. I'm very
yeah.
low."
And unfortunately, like I'll look on Marketplace sometimes and I'll see people who are charging almost as much as me that are not being
Not
realistic about their skill
not
set.
not good. Like
It's like, that doesn't look like what you think it does. Like,
yeah, I don't know
yeah.
what people are. I mean, like maybe they're just novices and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just aiming big because I'm really proud of this." But it's like, no, like you
Mm,
gotta be fair
yeah.
to what your skill set is. I think.
Yeah, and yeah, and it's too bad because a lot of people don't have a reference point. They just, oh, cool,
Yeah.
They
Yep. I agree.
yeah.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It's definitely a hard sell
Yeah.
for most people. Um, but what do you do? Right?
Uh,
Like we're
you just
trying.
keep
We're
going.
trying.
Yep. You
You
just
gotta
keep
keep
going,
going.
and you never know. I've seen some artists where they get they start doing something else or they change a little bit and then it's like boom, they blow up. Now they have like a hundred
Hmm
thousand followers, and it's like it could literally
Yeah.
happen overnight. You
hmm
never know. You just never know.
hmm I mean, we could wake up tomorrow and social media is gone.
Yeah.
The internet's gone. Like
I might
one
be okay with that. And I would miss
I'm
all
always
my
saying that.
friends.
I'm like, one good hit from the sun and
It's
we've
true.
lost everything. And
Giant meteor. Yeah.
right, like,
Oh,
yeah, you have no control over that.
yeah.
That's right. Like that could happen. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
or I know I've been dealing with phone storage issues, and
Yeah.
I was like, this really does. I know we've all seen that meme that's like buy art because the picture on your phone, could go away or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've had to go through and like delete so much stuff. I'm like,
Me
no, this is
too.
real.
Me
Yeah.
too. But that's like the one positive thing that I enjoy about social media is like meeting other artists that I would have never met before because we don't live in
Mhm.
the same area, and seeing what my friends are doing. Like that is what I like about it, you
Yeah,
know?
me too.
And I just wish there was more of that instead of like ads and the algorithm selling you things. It's like, you know, I I feel like my stuff sells well when it's in front of people's faces. And I feel like
Yeah.
there are people out there that would really love my art and buy it, but the internet does not like me. Like the algorithm does not like me, and it just will not put me
Mhm.
out there to people that actually might want to see it. Um, and I wish social media was different for sure, like in that regard.
Mhm. Oh, it's so funny. We have like a group chat, just like me and my kids and my husband. And my daughter was drawing a toy.
Yeah.
She was just like doing a study of a toy, and she sent it to our group chat. And for my son, it didn't do this for the other profiles, but like for my son, it flagged it as nudity.
Oh God.
And it was like, block so and so. So, because they're sending you this dangerous image. And I was just like, you know,
That's not
this is
even.
the crazy part about technology.
Yeah, I don't want robots making up decisions that it clearly knows nothing about. And honestly, Instagram was doing that to my paintings for a while, and they're not doing it anymore. But like all of my stuff got flagged as nudity, and I'm like, there's literally no nipples. There's no
Yeah.
like nothing. Like it's like yes, it's nude, but I'm like, there's no fucking nipple. But it's because
Yeah.
but it's because of whatever computer or robot is scanning things. But I don't know what fixed or got changed with that. But they don't do that really now. Like with my stuff, I can post stuff and it's fine. But
Oh,
they
that's
like they,
good.
yeah, like they would even warn you to say like if you don't take this down, anything you post after this is not going to be shown to new people.
Yeah.
I'm like
I've
that's just
heard that a lot. I've
yeah,
heard that that happens to people a lot. And it's, yeah, it's too bad
it
because
is.
I mean, a
People
lot
have
of
been painting
classical art.
nudity since like the dawn of time. Like
Hmm.
can't get more
Yeah.
human than your body. I mean, like
Right? Yeah,
yeah,
especially when it's something like yours is really telling a story,
yeah. That's
right?
what breast cancer survivor or survival looks like. Like it's a
Mhm.
more people need to be aware of like this is what people go through, and it's not there's nothing like sexual about it or inappropriate about
Oh
it.
no.
Um
And I mean, even like as a mother, I struggle with this idea that the breast is sexual at
right.
all,
Yep.
right?
I
And it's
agree. I
like,
agree.
is it though? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's really like it's
I
really not like when you
mean,
think about it, but like
there was a time when ankles were sexual. There
that's
was a
true.
time when wrists were sexual. Like it's very
Thank God I didn't
cultural,
live during that time.
right? And it's like there was a time when and there's still cultures where even a man wearing a short sleeve shirt, that's
Yeah.
taboo. You don't
God
do
forbid.
that,
God forbid.
right? And it's, you know, maybe not our experience in North America, but it's definitely an experience in other places. So
Right.
it's very, and then there's other cultures where everyone's naked and it's
Oh,
not considered sexual.
nope.
So it's
Yeah,
very much a
I mean, like even like look
culture.
at ancient Greece. It's like
Yeah.
there were like all of those statues. They're just nude guys just hanging out. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and now it's like especially America is like just such a nation of prudes with that stuff, which is so weird because
Hmm.
you all know what all of those people are doing behind closed doors. But God forbid you post a painting of nudity. It's like just it's very
Yeah.
Very strange.
It is strange. It's a strange world, and I think that's why, like a lot of us who do figurative realism, we're I think it's like the surrealism is very much a reflection of the age that we live in
Right.
because it's so absurd.
It is.
Like the age we live in is so absurd that the artwork that we make feels more sane than
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
yeah. That's how I feel. I feel like creating surrealist work has been very grounding for me
Yeah.
because um, it's like a way of understanding this strange place we find ourselves in, place and
Right.
time.
Yeah. I agree. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Well, we're getting up to that 3 hour mark, and
That isn't that crazy? That time
it's
just
so
like
insane.
flies by having good
It
conversation.
does. It does. I'm always surprised. I'm like, I know someone was asking me, well, how much time should I put aside? I'm like, well, I mean, it's up to
As
you,
much as
but
you want. Yeah.
yeah, as much as you want, because I've done a few 3 hour ones now, and it and
Yeah.
it never feels super long.
Yeah. I
And
just
then I'll
hope
look at the
it's
time
not
and I'm like,
long for
oh,
other people. Yeah. Like hopefully
yeah.
they'll want to watch the whole thing. It's
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, it is. And I'm trying to chop it up too, so that people
Right.
who are, just want some smaller content.
Right.
Absolutely. But I never feel like it's super duper long until I have to
I don't
like go to the
either.
bathroom.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And then
exactly.
I'm
Or
like,
I'm
oh
like, oh, I should
yeah.
probably I gotta give Goose his lunch probably now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what time is this even? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it's like noon. I did it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, I feel like time has just flown by.
It has.
Um, so your project that's coming up, do you have like a time in mind when, or should people just be following
Just
you?
yeah, just
Yeah.
following me would be great.
Mhm.
And hopefully soon. I feel like the paintings are like 80% done.
Nice.
One of them is done, the other two are close.
Nice.
So hopefully I want to say before the month is out, but it's already like May 25th, but maybe beginning of
Beautiful.
June. Maybe beginning.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That'd be great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have anything else that we should get pumped up about?
Um I only have one group show this year so far because like I said, I just haven't been applying. But I should probably get back to doing that. I'm doing a group show with Nanny Goat Gallery in October. I think it's their.
Cool.
I know it's their like Halloween theme show, but I forget what it's called this year. I think it because last year it was Fear to Tread, but I think it's called something else this year. But it's similar. It's like a macabre Halloween theme show, which I love. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
should
and
be
then
fun.
so that's going to be in October.
Right
And
on.
then usually like throughout the year, I try to do like I'll vend at conventions or markets. I try to do that more lately.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to pay attention. So, your Instagram is Abigail_Braman_art.
Yes.
Um, and the link is in the description, so people can check that out.
Perfect.
Yeah, and yeah, go in, and like I say this for everybody, but like I purposefully don't put photos up, mostly because I don't want to edit it, but
That's
also because
totally
I
fine.
want people to like click that link, go see
Right.
Abigail's work, check it
Absolutely.
out, engage with her. You're very engaged on social media.
Yeah, and
So if
like
they're asking
anybody that wants
questions,
to like chat, I'm not that person that's like not gonna, you know, like I talk to everybody. Like I'm not gonna
yes.
ignore people's messages. I'm a very responsive person. So
That's very cool. It's
yeah,
very cool to get that chance to talk to the artist.
yeah.
Yeah, and so thank you for coming on
No
today
problem.
and for
Thank you so much for
chatting.
having me. This has been
Yeah,
absolutely wonderful, and I miss doing things like this and
yeah.
talking,
Well, I
talking about
enjoy
art
it
with people.
too. Yeah, I love nerding out about art with people
Me too.
too.
What I
Yeah.
like the most.
Yeah. Same here. So, yeah. if you, yeah, please go check out Abigail's work. Um, Hit that follow button, and yeah, we'll have to be following you to see these new paintings. I'm excited to
Yes.
see them. Yeah.
Thank you. Me too.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Yes. Talk to you
Yeah. All
later. Thank you
right.
so
See you
much.
later. Yeah, no
Bye.
problem. Bye.